said yesterday that I might go live if something breaking just happened today. And not even about 5 minutes ago, not even 5 minutes ago, the Brooklyn Nets just made a big-time trade in the NBA. Just broke, literally about a couple of minutes ago. And I figured I had to go live for something like this. The Brooklyn Nets have officially traded Kyrie Irving. He is no longer a Brooklyn Net now. Kyrie Irving has officially been traded to the Dallas Mavericks. So Kyrie Irving is on his way, according to Shams, he is on his way to the Dallas Mavericks in exchange for Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, a first-round pick, and multiple second-round picks per Shams. Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. I didn't think it would happen this quickly. I didn't. I did not think something like this would happen as quickly as it did. But just like that, Kyrie Irving's an ex-Net. After reports came out yesterday about Kyrie Irving saying he would not play for the Brooklyn Nets as long as the team did not try to trade him before the trade deadline. And he even said he would sit out the remainder of the NBA season if the Nets did not trade him. He would threaten to sit out the rest of the NBA season if the team did not trade him this offseason. And just like that now, Kyrie Irving is an ex-Net. And now the Nets can get back to business like they were doing before. Like I mentioned before, just literally about 5 minutes that broke before. 5 minutes ago, this news broke. Kyrie Irving has officially been traded per Shams Charania to the Dallas Mavericks in exchange for Spencer Dinwiddie. So Spencer Dinwiddie's coming back home to Brooklyn. Dorian Finney-Smith, who I got to look at yesterday when he was playing against Dallas. He's a good player. I like Dorian Finney-Smith a lot. Multiple second-round picks and a first-round pick. They are all coming to Brooklyn now. The question is that enough to satisfy Kevin Durant to not want to play elsewhere? That's the question right now. I like the trade. I actually don't mind the trade. I don't mind it at all. What's going on, everybody? Lil Spongy, how you doing, bro? Thank you so much for coming by this impromptu live stream. Arku, what's going on? I hope this works out. I hope so, too. I really do. I hope this works out. I did not expect this to happen as quickly as it did. But either way, I'm not going to complain. This is the best course of action for the Brooklyn Nets. No more distractions. Absolutely. No more distractions around the basketball team. No more distractions around this team in general. It's exactly what this team needed. They needed to go forward and just try to move on. And I mean, I thought they might be steadfast and not try to move Kyrie as early as they did, but I guess I was wrong. What's going on, Sleeping Angels? How you doing, bro? I mean, yeah, I guess I understand if you're saying I'm sorry, but either way, I mean, I'm surprised. I'm a little bit disappointed that it didn't work out, but at the same time, it is what it is. I just want Kyrie to play basketball. I do too. I just want to see everybody go out there and just play ball. No more distractions and just go out and have a good just play basketball out there this season. That's it. That's all I want. All I want is just to go out there, get rid of the distractions, and just play basketball. That's all I want. I'm doing all right, man. Thank you very much. I didn't know if I was going to go live for this, but I figured this is a big story for the Brooklyn Nets. So the next time, I figured, why the hell not? Go live, talk about this a little bit with everybody, and then just, see how everybody reacts to it, see how everybody feels about this breaking news that just happened literally about 5-10 minutes ago regarding the Brooklyn Nets. Just like that, your team is broken. Well, I don't know yet. If there's any other moves that could be around the pike. This might be just the first of a couple of moves that be coming for the Brooklyn Nets. So we don't know. I got to wait and see what's going to happen either way. Our next games are going to be a disaster. I mean, you have to wait and see what's going to happen. You can't put the cart before the horse yet. Right now, it's just, it's got to see what's going to happen overall. got to see what's going to happen. So I mean, I'm just gonna wait and see what else is gonna happen with this team. But either way, I'm a little bit suspicious of what's gonna happen. I know you're gonna miss Finney-Smith. I like Finney-Smith. He's not a great player, but he's a solid player at the power forward position. I think he'd be an upgrade over the guys we have right now. Throw him in the starting lineup. Maybe you could put Dinwiddie back in the starting lineup, or maybe you want to play him off the bench. I would not mind this at all. I've always liked Spencer Dinwiddie. I have always liked Spencer Dinwiddie, so I am not going to complain that Dinwiddie is back as a net. I am not going to complain a bit that Dinwiddie is back home. What the fuck is wrong with Kyrie? He apparently had contract negotiations with the Nets and they went south. Raphael, what's going on, bro? Thank you so much for coming by this impromptu live stream. Appreciate it. This is crazy. I agree. I did not think it happened this quickly. Right, exactly. Still have Ben Simmons. He's a distraction. We'll have to wait and see what's going to happen with Simmons now going forward. If he's going to start, or he's probably going to come off the bench, because I would figure that Finney-Smith is going to be the one that's going to start at power forward now, and maybe Simmons can become a sixth man whenever he gets healthy. Will Kevin Durant play the rest of the season after this? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I can't tell you that, Andrew. I appreciate you coming by the live stream. I really, really don't know. I wish I had a good answer for you, but I really just don't know what's going to happen with Kevin Durant after this trade that just happened. So, I mean, I hope so. I hope he will. I mean, it would kind of suck if he doesn't, but we got to wait and see what other moves are going to happen. I'm surprised it happened this fast, bro. Yeah, I am too. I'm absolutely surprised it happened this fastly. So are we trading him to the Mavs? Yes, we are. Kyrie Irving has been traded to the Mavs. No effing way. Yeah, what's going on, Teacher Got Game? Yeah, it happened. It happened. Kyrie Irving's an ex-net, just like that. Just like that, he's an ex-net. Did not think it would happen, but he did. I like Spencer, too. I've always been a fan of him. I thought it was a false at first. No, it's Shams. Shams is not going to put up false reports. It's Shams. I like the trade. I like the trade, even though I'm going to make it. Yes, it just happened. Literally about 2 or so minutes ago. The package right now, Teachers Got Game, is Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, multiple second-round picks, and a first-round pick right now. Shams and Woj tweeted. Yep, there you go. What's going on, Mitch? I literally just threw this live stream together in about 2 minutes ago. So
no, you're good. You're good. But hey, I kind of called it because last night on our stream, I was like, "Yo, would you like Spencer Dinwiddie?"
I've always liked Spencer Dinwiddie. I've always liked Spencer Dinwiddie. So as much as I'm sad to see Kyrie Irving go, either way, I'm happy that we at least got a decent package back. I'm curious to see what these second-round picks are going to be. You know, what years they're coming out, etc. But either way, I'm just wanting to see what's going to happen with this team going forward. If this is going to be the final team, or are we going to make any other trades at all before the trade deadline? So I'm just really looking to see what else the Nets are going to do. Because I don't know if this is going to be the final team that we're going to have for the rest of the season. But either way, now you got Dorian Finney-Smith at power forward. You got Spencer Dinwiddie, who can essentially take back over a point guard for this team. And then you got a couple of draft picks that you just picked up too, that you can help restore your draft capital going forward. So
Yeah.
It has happened.
So I just wanted to be here for a second. I gotta go do something. Don't worry, I got the thumbnail. I'll send it to you.
All right, thank you very much. No, I mean, I don't know how long we're going to go with this. I mean, I'll send the link to anybody else that wants to pop on. I don't know how long I'm going to go with this live stream, but I'm open to answering as many questions as possible. And whatever new information I get, I'll try to get it out to everybody as soon as I can. But yeah,
so I mean, did Curry get injured? That's my question.
He got banged. He banged knees last night with one of the Dallas Mavericks, so that's why he got banged up.
Oh, he's out for multiple weeks now.
Multiple weeks, yes. He's going to be out for multiple weeks so far. I'm trying to see if I can get any more information about this trade right now.
Yes, I'm streaming the Sixers and Knicks at 6 o'clock. So, yeah.
Well, you got plenty of time.
Yep. All right, guys, I got to go. I'll see you guys later.
All right, take it easy. Thank you for popping in, Mitch.
Yep, see you.
Take it easy. But yeah, guys, I'll try to get through everybody's questions, try to pop in everybody, see what they want to say. Okay, not too shabby. Yeah, not too shabby at all. I'm not going to complain. New York, NYG, how do you know? Go look at Shams Saranya and go look at Woj. That's how I know. Because you didn't go, because I just saw a break on my phone. It just broke on my phone. That's why. Nets could have got another player. They aren't contenders with those picks. Well, I mean, we don't know if there's any other moves that are going to be coming down the pike. Plus, we don't know what Kevin Durant thinks about this whole situation, too. That's what I'm intrigued right now. What does Kevin Durant think about this situation between this whole trade that just went down before? How does KD feel about it? Normal guy, what's going on, bro? Thank you for coming by the live stream. KD is definitely going to leave soon. It's possible. It's possible KD might be on the way out, too. But if he's not, we'll have to wait and see. Mitch is streaming. Mitch is going to be streaming soon. Absolutely. TDAFC. All right. No, normal guy's giving me the updates right now on the Pro Bowl game that's happening right now. Appreciate that, normal guy. The second round picks are for 2027 and 2029. Thank you very much. Markieff Morris is also on his way to Dallas, so there's another one right there. So Markieff Morris as well is going to the Dallas Mavericks. So the Nets have essentially traded Markieff Morris and Kyrie Irving for Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, a first-round pick, and multiple second-round picks. That is the trade that just went down for the Brooklyn Nets this afternoon, according to Shams Saranya and Adrian Wojnarowski. So there you go. I'm a little bit shocked, too. I'm shocked. I didn't think it would happen, materialize this quickly. But, hey, welcome to the NBA. Anything's possible nowadays. Anything is possible. So I'm just really want to see what could happen next. I'm just waiting to see what could happen next. And I mean, the next move is, what is Kevin Durant going to think? What is Kevin Durant going to think next? Oh, stop! Don't cry. Yeah, Markieff Morris is going too. Markieff Morris is on his way over to Dallas as well, which is fine. I mean, Markieff Morris was really not doing anything for the Brooklyn Nets anyway. Either way, so I'm not going to complain at all if that's the case. So we'll have to wait and see. And here's the tweet by Rose that just dropped a couple of minutes ago. The Nets-Mavericks talks accelerate on trade today. The Lakers and Nets have had several conversations on a potential deal, but the Nets preferred Mavs package. Getting back a point guard and wing to put in now, plus the future picks. There you go. That's why the Nets did the trade. Dallas had a little bit more to offer on this trade than overall than what do you call it? Than LA did, which it doesn't surprise me at all. What's going on? Kevin Durant cry. Maybe he might be crying. Maybe he just might be maybe he might be just be like, oh well. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe Kevin Durant's not going to complain about this at all. Maybe he'll be happy. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. Maybe he's happy about the trade. We'll have to wait and see. No distractions. Your team can just play now. Well, we'll have to wait and see because Kevin Durant is still here, and I got to find out if he's going to be distracted next. So I don't know if there's no distractions yet. We have to find out if Kevin Durant is not going to get pissed off now about this. Yep, Kyrie Irving to the Mavs. Absolutely. Well, don't do that. Don't do that. Normal guy says it's 2020. Okay. Thank you very much for the update. The first round pick for 2029 is unprotected. I don't mind that at all. I don't mind that at all. Am I dreaming? No, you're not dreaming. This is reality. Kyrie Irving is no longer a Brooklyn Net. He is now a Dallas Maverick. Kyrie and Luka, yep. The new combination down over there in Dallas. Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic are now playing together over there in Dallas. Absolutely. I got to recover. Take as much time as you need and recover after this breaking news that just dropped, my friend. What's the assumed Nets starting lineup now? What's going on, Sam Chrono Mad 31? I would guess right now the Nets starting lineup would probably be Spencer Dinwiddie, Royce O'Neal, Joe Harris, Dorian Finney-Smith. I'm sorry, probably Royce O'Neal, Spencer Dinwiddie, Kevin Durant, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Nicholas Claxton. That's what I'm guessing. That's what I'm guessing the starting lineup would be. I think. Unless Harris is going to start over Royce O'Neal, I'm guessing that's the starting lineup. It's going to be Dinwiddie, O'Neal, Durant, Finney-Smith, Claxton. And then Simmons and Harris and Curry and those guys will come off the bench. At least Dinwiddie is back. Absolutely. I'm happy Dinwiddie is back at least. I'll take that. Curry trade next. Possibly. Maybe Joe Harris. Oh, wait, no, they can't trade Joe Harris because his contract. Maybe Seth Curry is next. Cam Thomas could start. Maybe Spencer Dinwiddie is their sixth man. There's a lot of different options the Brooklyn Nets can go. They said Irving, Doncic, Tim Hardaway Jr., Wood, and Powell in Dallas. That's what I figured would be the starting lineup over there, too. You're going to get Christian Wood an opportunity now to step in as the starting power forward now for the Dallas Mavericks. Now they're with Dorian Finney-Smith off the table and over in Brooklyn. So that makes sense that would be the case. He would be the one to start over there. I'm just trying to get any more information dropping around the Brooklyn Nets just in case, more things pop up. I'm just keeping a track of it. See if I can get it to you guys. In the meantime, if any more news drops on this monster trade news that just happened literally about 10, 15 minutes ago. Dinwiddie, yep. Dinwiddie is there. I'm very happy about that. Spencer Dinwiddie is now a Brooklyn Net once again. We'll have to wait and see what's going to happen either way. Shout out to the 22 in the live chat, just on this limited, immediate, impromptu live stream that I just put together. You guys are awesome. Appreciate that. KD is going to Lakers. There's nobody on the Lakers I want back. So if KD wants to go to the Lakers are going to have to literally sell their entire team. I'm waiting to see the thing I'm waiting to hear now is what is Kevin Durant going to say about this situation? That's my one thing I'm curious to see what's going to happen is what is Durant going to say about this situation with the Brooklyn Nets now that Kyrie Irving is out? We'll have to wait and see. Spencer Dinwiddie just tweeted, when Shams Charania says it's time to go, you pack your bags. Plus, Elijah said he's going home. That's his son. So obviously Spencer Dinwiddie sounds like he's going to be happy to come back home to Brooklyn. Yeah, exactly. No more distractions now with the Brooklyn Nets. That's one positive is that there's going to be no more distractions right now with the team. At least you hope. You hope there's going to be no more distractions. There's still time, though. Just go young. I mean, if the Nets want to trade Kevin Durant, I get it. I'm not gonna be completely, upset about it. I won't be happy because our championship chances probably just went down sharply now because of Kyrie Irving being traded. But we'll have to wait and see. Oh, calm down, BK and go. You don't have to go numb over it, man. It's just things happen. This is the NBA, my friend. This is what happens in the NBA. Blue City, what's going on, friend? How you doing, bro? Thank you for coming by the live stream. Kyrie got traded to Dallas. Yes, he did. Did not expect it, but it happened. Kyrie Irving is an ex-Brooklyn Net now. Did not expect it to happen, but it happened. Let's see. Simmons needs to be traded away. He has no value right now. The problem with Ben Simmons is he has absolutely settled value right now with the Brooklyn Nets because he hasn't been healthy and also because nobody is going to want to trade for a guy that has not shown the type of production the team has been looking for. And at the same time, nobody is right now clamoring for a broken down Ben Simmons who can't stay healthy at all this season. I'm just shocked. So am I, bro. I'm shocked and shook. I'm shocked too. I'm not shook up, but I am shocked about it. Lakers should honestly blow it up and cut their losses and move Russ and AD. If they're struggling before the trade and are at 13, it'll be harder now than this deal. East just got weaker, which sucks. What happens if KD gets traded? Where would you see him going? I've heard Warriors, Grizzlies, Blazers, Suns, Kings, Thunder, Clippers, and Wizards. I can easily see him going to the Suns. The Suns have been one of those teams that have been rumored to trade potentially for Kevin Durant if it does get down to that point. We'll have to wait and see what's going to happen, though. I could see him going over there to the Suns. They have the enough pieces right now. If the Nets wanted to trade Kevin Durant, the Suns could be that team that could be essentially the ones the Nets look to on a potential trade package. Russ for Simmons straight up? No. I don't want Russell Westbrook anywhere near my team. I would not do that straight up. Even for Ben Simmons, I still would not do it. We don't need another guard. We still need some more front court help. what's going to happen with KD now. I have no idea. I'm trying to wait and see if there's I'm really looking it up to see if there's any news right now about Kevin Durant and what he's going to say about the situation, if he might be the next one to potentially ask for a trade before the trade deadline, or if he might want to see what's going to happen with this team. The difference is Kevin Durant is locked into a long-term deal with the Nets, whereas Kyrie Irving was not. He was a free agent after this year. So the Nets don't have to move Kevin Durant if they don't want to. It's just we'll have to wait and see if they're going to. Ben and KD got a dip too. What's going on? Untamed Music? That could be the next thing that could happen next, is that Kevin Durant and Ben Simmons could be the next ones out, as well as some of these other high-priced free agents on the team. We'll have to wait and see. Bane ain't worth it. What do we get? The overall trade right now, I believe, from the Brooklyn Nets and the Dallas Mavericks. The Brooklyn Nets have traded Kyrie Irving and Markieff Morris to the Dallas Mavericks in exchange for Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, an unprotected 2029 first-round pick, a 2027 second-round pick, and a 2029 second-round pick. That is the trade right now between the Nets and the Mavericks involving Kyrie Irving. KD should go back to the Warriors. I doubt that's going to happen. I doubt it. I mean, you never know, but I doubt that they're going to destroy their whole entire team. Biggest NBA trade season since Melo to the Knicks. It possibly could. Possibly could happen. We don't know. We know we could happen. What's going on? Next shift, Randy? Randy, if you have a chance, pop on with me. I'd love to hear your analysis about this trade that just happened. Please, if you have any time, pop onto the live stream. I'd love to hear what you have to say about this trade that Lily just broke. Next move, Raps will move OG Anunoby, Malachi Flynn, Juancho Hernan-Gomez to the Suns for Cam Johnson, Landry Shamet, Dario Saric, 2023 first-round pick, and 2025 and 2027 first-round pick. Yeah, I could see that happening. That might be the next thing that could happen next, is my dark horse. Hey, if that happens for you guys, that's a big-time win for the Toronto Raptors. Absolutely. Where's the cap hit now for the Brooklyn Nets? I got to read it over. What exactly the cap hit is going to be for the Brooklyn Nets, so I got to wait and see. Yes, Spencer Dinwiddie could be the point guard for the Brooklyn Nets now coming up. It could be him. It could be Cam Thomas. Maybe Dinwiddie plays on the bench. We'll have to wait and see. What's going on, Bluebird? How you doing, bro? What's good, Jeff? Kyrie Irving to the Mavs and Luka is about to be nasty. Offensively, you have yourself a dynamic 1-2 combination over there in Dallas offensively, which is going to be good. NYG, can you please explain to me what happens when you trade draft picks to another team? They pretty much take your draft capital that was supposed to be there for your year. So if you have a draft pick in 2023, say I'm the Dallas Mavericks. It's 2027. I have a second-round draft pick. I take my second-round draft pick and trade it in a package for Kyrie Irving. That second-round draft pick that was originally supposed to be the Brooklyn Nets is now officially the Dallas Mavericks is now officially belongs to the Brooklyn Nets. So when 2027 comes around in the second round, that draft pick that was originally supposed to be Dallas's is now come over and is now the Brooklyn Nets draft pick. That's what happens when you trade draft picks. Shooting guard Royce, small forward Dorian Finney-Smith, power forward KD, center class, kind of tough, and Ben running second unit. That could be exactly what happens. I could see that happening. Absolutely. Or maybe they play Finney-Smith at the power forward position. It looks like my 76ers won the Ben Simmons trade. I mean, yeah, I'm still saying both teams lost that trade, but we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen when we get into the playoffs. I still say both teams lost that trade, but you don't know until we actually get to the playoffs going forward. If KD gets traded, it's instantly greatest trade season, and everyone was worried about the trade season because of Gobert deal during the offseason. Well, I mean, when you have somebody like Kyrie Irving that puts pressure on the Brooklyn Nets, essentially saying, I'm not playing the rest of the season, I will walk at the end of the season if the team does not trade me, it kind of gives you it kind of forces your hand on that one to pretty much say, we have to trade him. We have no choice. We have to trade Kyrie Irving unless you're willing to just call his bluff and let him walk at the end of the season. That's the thing right there, too. I'm praying for Luka now that he has to deal with Kyrie. Yeah, how long until something happens over there in Dallas? That's a good point, Blue City. I like having Spencer back. I do too. I do too. Yo, Suns trying to get KD right now. Well, we don't know if Kevin Durant is actually available. Suns could try. But we don't know exactly if Kevin Durant is also available via trade. I'm sure teams are going to try to look to Kevin Durant now and engage his interest to see if Kevin Durant is going to want to be traded now that his buddy Kyrie Irving is gone. So we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see what's going to happen. I'm still looking up more information to you know what the scary thing is? Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving only played 74 games together during their time at the Nets. 74 games. Those two guys played as Brooklyn Nets throughout their entire Nets tenure. That is scary. That is scary bad. 74 games in 4 years. I got school tomorrow. They're going to be talking about this. Absolutely. This is going to be breaking news all over the place. No problem, man. I appreciate that I can explain it for you and it helps you out. My brain is gone right now. Hey, see what happens next. That's the thing. What's going to happen next, man? That's the question. Big D in Brooklyn. Ha ha. But the Blue City said, oh boy, Luka is about to have a fit with Irving shows. Yeah. I don't know what's going to happen with KD next. The Phoenix Suns are prepared to pursue Brooklyn Nets star Kevin Durant should he become available. So there you go. So if Kevin Durant becomes available, this is the Phoenix Suns, according to Bid Fridge. And Fridge, thank you for coming by the live stream. The Phoenix Suns are prepared to go out there and offer a monster deal to try to bring in Kevin Durant, depending on if the Nets make him available during the trade deadline this offseason. We'll have to wait and see what's going to happen. Nothing has really been said yet when it comes to Kevin Durant. But we'll have to see. Maybe Durant wants to see what this team is like right now, or he just wants to get the hell out of here soon too. The future is scary. I mean, at the same time, you got to think about this. It was not working out with the team they had currently constructed. I just said it. Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving played 74 games together in a span of 4 years. 74 games. Why would you want to? I mean, at this point, there's more distractions and trade requests from this team than there were first-round victories. At this point, I'm not going to go nuts about it. The depth on this team got better. Yes, they are. Luka and Kyrie are going to be very good over there in Brooklyn. In Dallas. I agree with that. They absolutely are. I want to see what's going to happen next. Now that Kyrie Irving is officially an ex-Net, what is the next move for this team? That's what I want to know. What is next for the Brooklyn Nets? That's my story. Excuse me. That's what I want to know next. What is going to be the next step for the Brooklyn Nets after this trade of Kyrie Irving? Your guess is as good as mine. Are you going to start trading away some of these pieces on this team? You know, maybe they're still a little bit too guard heavy. You got rid of Kyrie Irving. You brought in Spencer Dinwiddie. Now you also have Dorian Finney-Smith, another wing player. Could play power forward on like a smaller lineup. But at the same time, you still don't have a lot of size in your front court. So what is the next move for the Nets? Because I don't think they're done. What's going on, Further I Am? How you doing, bro? Thank you for coming by the live stream. If you want to pop on for a little bit, you're more than welcome to. Are you guys going to keep Kevin Durant? Neymar, what's going on, bro? I have no idea. I really wish I had an answer, but I really don't. I could give you a politically correct answer and say, yeah, they're going to keep Kevin Durant, or yeah, they're going to trade him after this. I really honestly don't know. I really don't know what this team is going to do now. I mean, I didn't think they would trade Kyrie Irving this quick, and they did. So I really don't know what this team is going to do next. I mean, they could keep Kevin Durant. Maybe Kevin Durant was behind this whole thing. Maybe Kevin Durant was behind this whole entire trade situation with the Brooklyn Nets to try to get Kyrie Irving out of here because of the issues going on behind the scenes. I don't know. It's possible. We have to wait until more information comes out. Remember, this just broke literally about 25 minutes ago. So more information is going to come out behind the scenes on what exactly it was. But remember, the Los Angeles Lakers also tried to acquire Kyrie Irving. but the Nets decided they wanted to go with the Dallas Mavericks trade because they felt it was a lot better. Two huge questions now from Nick Friedel. Is KD still committed to the Brooklyn Nets without Kyrie Irving? That's the biggest question right now. And what are the Nets going to do with Ben Simmons' contract? That's another big question. Those are the two biggest questions right now with the Brooklyn Nets. Is KD still committed to the team, or is he going to want out? And what is going to happen now with Ben Simmons and his contract? Those are the two biggest questions right now in regards to the Brooklyn Nets after this trade this afternoon and with Kyrie Irving. That's the biggest question right now in terms of this whole thing that's just been set up between Kevin Durant or Kyrie Irving and the Brooklyn Nets, along with the Dallas Mavericks. That's the biggest question right now. So I'm waiting to see. I'm trying to look up some more information from Shams or Woj on like this whole thing that just broke. I really am. I'm trying to look up some more information about anything else that might have broken on this story regarding the Brooklyn Nets and Kyrie Irving being traded. So we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen. But either way, I'm a little bit surprised. But if you guys want, keep throwing out your questions. I'm going to keep trying to look up some information on this. Oh man, I guess it's still not processing with me right now. That's why I'm sort of in a little bit of denial. Like it hasn't processed with me yet. I really don't even know what to say. It's like I'm just it hasn't hit me yet completely. It has not hit me yet completely about this whole situation with Kyrie Irving. I'm trying to look up some more information from Shams. I'm trying to look up some more information from Woj to see any other news that's dropped around this whole situation. Let me see. Yeah, just to update it one more time again. The Mavericks are sending a 2029 unprotected first-round pick, a 2027 second-round pick, and a 2029 second-round pick, as well as Markieff Morris will also be on his way to Dallas. That's per Woj, along with Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving, and it's essentially Kyrie Irving and Markieff Morris to Dallas for Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, 2029 first-round pick unprotected, 2027 second-round pick, 2029 second-round pick. That's right now the trade details that I have for you guys. So we'll have to wait and see if other news is going to break around surrounding this whole situation either way. But yeah, it's stunning right now. Absolutely stunning about this news that just broke. So let me see. Champagne Poppy is not happy about it. Champagne, good to see you again, my friend. Good to see. Yeah, I know you're not happy about this. I don't blame you, bro. Could you see KD to OKC, especially with all the amount of draft capital they have? It's possible. It depends on what OKC is willing to give up. It depends on what OKC is willing to give up in any type of trade with the Brooklyn Nets for this situation. I don't know yet. Maybe Kevin Durant wants to still stick with the Nets. I don't know. Like, I literally don't know what is in the mind of Kevin Durant right now. He might still be processing this whole thing after it just went down. So I don't know. Like, I have no idea what the hell to think. Adam, my good friend Adam Costas has hopped onto the live stream. Adam, how you doing, bro? After this breaking news with Kyrie Irving is now a Dallas Maverick.
Kind of good, you know. Like, I mean, you get rid of the players you don't want or being a trouble to your team, and you know they got Dinwiddie back, which I like. So maybe they'll have more of an offensive presence out there with Dinwiddie and Kyrie and Durant. You could probably spread the ball a little bit more. And then I'm not too familiar with the other guy they got, Dorian Finney-Smith. I know he's a bit of a scorer, so that's good. You know, he can put some points on the board. I think the Nets actually won. I think the Nets actually did a good job. You know, who knew that they could trade him, you know?
I mean, I'm surprised actually that it got together this quickly. I didn't think that they would put together a trade package this quickly, but after Kyrie Irving's remarks that he made last night during a couple of nights ago during the Nets game, pretty much saying that he was willing to sit out the rest of the season, he pretty much put pressure on the team that it doesn't matter what you want. It doesn't matter what deal you're going to give me. I'm not coming back because he felt slighted because of the incentives thrown into that contract extension that he was looking for. And I am no way in hell paying him 4 years and $198.5 million after he's pretty much done nothing. Well, I mean, I can't say he's done nothing, but he's pretty much been hurt and he's missed a whole lot of games. I mean, I don't know if you heard the stat before. Him and Kevin Durant played 74 games together in a span of 4 years.
74
Did not even play a full season together. Not one.
It's funny.
It's criminal.
It's funny because the Nets are always like that. They get a trade and it never works out for their favor outside of the Jason Kidd trade. It's like that was it. That's the one trade in our history of a net trade in our years recently that's gone right. Everything else has been terrible. I remember when they got Ji Jingling and like Danny Manning in a trade. And it's funny, they try to tell, I was working for the team, they're trying to sell tickets. I'm like, who's going to come to these games? There's nobody that anyone can pronounce, nor does anybody know. And here we are, we get Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, and they never do anything together. And it's like Durant's either on the floor or injured and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, we get a little bit. I think Dinwiddie's going to really help the team. I really do. Hopefully, he's fully healed. I know he was injured last year, but if he's fully healed, I think he'll be a better option. I think, like I said, I think he'll score with them. He was having a good season. Obviously, the Nets decided to not pay him, and he goes to another team, and that's the typical Nets. Typical Nets. We'll see.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed that they let go of Dinwiddie originally. I didn't think that was a very good move. I thought they should have tried to find a way to keep him around because to me he was a glue guy. Like we talk about players on the Giants being glue players, or like with Mitch's team, the Eagles, they have some glue players, or basketball teams. To me, Spencer Dinwiddie was a glue player on that Nets
You
team.
said Eagles.
Well, I agree with you there.
Should I put him in timeout, Adam?
Your show, what you want, man. That's what you get for always referencing the Eagles. We know.
He said Eagles.
It's like your ears perk up. Someone says Eagles. You're like, Eagles?
That's one before, actually. So.
Yeah. But anyways, I think Dinwiddie, like I said, I missed Dinwiddie when he was playing because I think he really did help the team as a second scorer and a spot starter. He did pretty well, when he was called to have heavy minutes. He didn't let us down, right? And then when he was regulated back to a backup player, you actually got a competent guy on the floor to help move the basketball around. Every time you get Kyrie Irving, the problem when you have Kyrie Irving, he plays a lot of iso ball. So if you don't give him the rock and then get out of his way, you're kind of in the way. With Dinwiddie, it's more of, I'm a point guard. I'm going to try to get the best possible shot or the best possible look I can. And if it means I have to take a jump shot, then that's what it means.
Absolutely. But the question now I have to ask, what the hell is Kevin Durant going to do right now? Is he going to be okay with this? Or is Kevin Durant now going to have an issue with what happened with this Kyrie Irving trade? And we're going to hear about Kevin Durant potentially wanting to be out of Brooklyn because already there's reports that the Phoenix Suns are ready to offer the Nets a trade package if, in fact, Kevin Durant decides to become available for the team before the NBA trade deadline this Thursday. So I mentioned the two questions before, and I'll make sure to get to everybody's comments in just a second. But the two questions that were mentioned before, Adam, Mitch, as well as the chat. What is Kevin Durant thinking right now about this whole situation after Kyrie Irving's now been traded to Dallas? And what are we going to do with Ben Simmons' contract? This dude's been an albatross. He's been an albatross. He hasn't stayed healthy. He's been good defensively when he's played. He's not been aggressive on the offensive end of the court. He's too lackadaisical. He's not willing to shoot. I like his defensive game. He does facilitate the ball pretty nicely, but he's not an offensive playmaker. He's not an offensive threat. He's afraid to shoot. So it's like, what do we do now with Ben Simmons, and what is Kevin Durant's mindset right now before the NBA trade deadline in a few days?
Well, the first question is, I think what they're going to do is let Dinwiddie play out and see how he meshes with the team. If they win a few games, but you don't have much time since the trade deadline is Thursday. Now, if I'm the Nets, I would just say F it and say, this ain't working. Okay, let me get the picks back. Let me get rid of Durant now because it's probably going to be a headache down the road. Now, I love Kevin Durant, but again, it's not working out. Do you think you're going to compete with Boston? Do you think you're going to beat Philadelphia? Hell, do you even think you're going to beat Milwaukee? If the answer is no, then you have to figure out a way to get rid of this guy, get some picks, and do it the right way, because the Nets have done this in their history. They get guys, Dinwiddie, the other guy, I'm forgetting what his name was. He went to Cleveland. Oh my God.
Jared Allen, Karis
Yeah,
LeVert.
Karis. Oh my God.
And
They got
Jared
rid of him.
Allen.
Yes,
Both.
and they get rid of these guys, and they don't give them time to develop, because the Nets are always a stinky team, and they don't have much to go with. But what I think you need to do is, if Durant doesn't want to be here, find out like now. Say, listen,
Yeah.
do you or do not want to be here? If not, take the trade with Phoenix, because they're obviously championship bound. They've been in the championship for the last couple of years, at least fighting for it. And Durant, I don't know if puts him over the top, but at least competes with the Warriors a little bit. And I would just say, listen, you got till Thursday. You got till midnight Wednesday night to make a decision, and then we got to know. Because if you're going to ride with us, we'll gladly have you. If you're not going to ride with us, we're going to take this and go. As for Ben Simmons, I'd buy his ass out if I could. Say, listen, I love you. You play defense, but get the hell out of Dodge. You know what I'm saying?
There's nothing that makes Mitch happier than the Eagles talk or Ben Simmons sucking talk. He's like a little cackling hyena back over there. It's like,
hey, we told you guys about Ben Simmons. We told you.
He's like the guy, Mr. Burns. He's like, excellent. Every time you said, they say Eagles, Ben Simmons is excellent. You know what I mean? Great. Everything's going according to plan. But we'll see.
Exactly.
The Nets are imploding.
The Nets always implode. It seems like every 3 to 5 years the Nets do this, right? They'll stink for a few years. They'll make a big trade. They'll get some washed up guys who don't work out. They'll tear it down. They'll trade it again. They restart. They'll bring in a new GM who has a new idea, but somehow it ends up being the same shit. Just rinse and repeat, right? And that's what it is. I mean, Billy King, now the new GM right now, has blown it up. The ownership, with this team, and because the NBA is so watered down, you make it to the playoffs.
Let's go Sixers.
Here's the problem with this question and what's going on. Rubio the Cocker Spaniel. I love that username, by the way. Kyrie Irving's value was low. Number one, he's a free agent after the end of the year. Number two, he's demanding a trade. So that right there is going to force the Nets' hand. So pretty much his value is already going to be low. And he was banged up too. So when you have a disgruntled player who is also a free agent at the end of the year, your value for the team is not going to be that high. You're going to try to get whatever you can for him. And the Nets was sort of put in a really unfortunate situation.
He's a glorified rental.
Yeah, it's exactly what he is. He's a rental right now for Dallas, and this is Dallas's chance to see if they could potentially come out of a very top-headed competitive Western Conference, because now you have Dallas with Denver, Sacramento, Memphis, Phoenix is still there. You got Golden State, which is back on the rise. You got a lot of competition at the top end of that Western Conference. Los Angeles Clippers, don't even start with the Lakers. The Lakers are a friggin' mess right now, too. They're the Western Conference version of the Nets. But either way, it's a very competitive Western Conference now. What?
Well, let's see how they mesh together with Kyrie Irving, right? Because and they have Luka over there, and he's the main guy, and now you're gonna get ISO ball Irving, who may not be able to. Because see, the thing is, with Kyrie Irving, you want a guy like, who's the kid on I forget his name, on Golden State right now,
Jordan Poole.
Yes, that's who I would love to have as a point guard, because the guy can shoot, he can take it to the rim, and he's not selfish. Kyrie Irving stops your offense. He brings the ball to the top of the key, and he's trying to ISO you like he's, that Drew character that he portrays in his annual. Yeah, and I'm just saying, like, that kind of basketball works when you have LeBron James, who can pull everybody away because they're all worried about LeBron James. But if you're the main guy, you're the main star, that doesn't work. They just run up on you and can play and get on their defensive sets quickly. With a guy like Jordan Poole, you can't do that because you don't know if he's going to come up and shoot. And if he comes up and shoot, right, that changes your whole defense. So that's what I feel.
So, Jeff, the Lakers offered the Nets Westbrook and a first-round pick earlier this week, and the Nets denied it.
Oh, thank God we did not take that trade, because if they even tried to take that trade, the Nets fans would have stormed the Barclays Center and wanted Sean Marks' job and wanted to have Joe Tsai sell the team, because that would have been a disastrous trade. For Russell Westbrook and a first-round pick, I mean, come on. If the Nets ever thought about taking that trade, that would have been an absolute mitigated disaster.
This is not the NFL where the first round picks are as valuable. Like, so you really got to test the waters when you do that. Now, the question is, does Russell Westbrook change your offensive game plan? If the answer is no, then you don't want to just trade for Russell Westbrook to get a guy who kind of does. I mean, you don't want to trade Kyrie Irving for a guy like Russell Westbrook who does kind of the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Kind of a ball hog, kind of a guy that's going to be less of a facilitator and more of a scorer. You got that. You need somebody who's going to feed the ball to Durant and help Durant, pick up the load when Durant's getting double teamed. A guy that Durant can count on, be there and shoot a three, drop a three, or penetrate and score. That's why he did so well at Golden State, because he had Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, who were doing a lot of that jitterbugging and also shooting, which allowed him to cut to the basket. And when you're his size, you can't get one-on-one coverage on that guy. So no matter what happened, whether he got doubled or Klay Thompson got doubled, somebody was open that can make a three. When you play with the Nets, it's Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant and a bunch of other guys, right? So when that happens, if one guy doesn't come through, it allows the defense just to close in on one player. So if you're the Nets, you want to get a guy like a Jordan Poole or a Dinwiddie in this case, because now Kevin Durant, when he is getting a double team, can kick it out to Dinwiddie. He knows he can take that shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Dinwiddie is also the type of player that he's not afraid to drive the ball to the basket. We've seen that many times. Dinwiddie can play very aggressive on the offensive end, and he's not afraid to go to the basket and draw contact. And Dinwiddie is going to be fired up to come back to Brooklyn, because I probably never wanted to leave in the first place, but because of the whole situation that happened with this stupid James Harden trade a couple of years ago, it sort of ignited what happened with the whole last year. It's ignited what happened with this whole thing. If the Nets never traded for James Harden in the first place, I like that team. I was a big fan when we had Durant, Irving, and all those young players on our team. That was a team that if they actually gave it time to be able to marinate, that team could have been something to look forward to going into the playoffs. But Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving didn't think that team was good enough, and they got a little bit selfish. Sean Marks got a little bit too trigger happy with his trades and decided to go out there and get James Harden. And since that point, it all started going downhill. But I'm gonna catch up to the comments real quickly, guys, and we'll continue up, because I'm a little bit behind. I wonder what Unpopular Opinion Sports is feeling about this. Well, I mean, he was steadfast when we talked about it before. NYG22 was saying like he would have rather not traded Kyrie Irving and kept him. He would have rather kept him on the roster because he didn't want to try to force his hand and pretty much give him what he wanted. But also at the same time, I understand why they did it, because you don't want to lose Kyrie Irving for nothing. So, I mean, that's probably the reason why it was really forced upon them. They had no real choice, because you have to try to get anything you can for a player that's not going to be back with the team after this year. And rather than just having him walk for nothing, at least try to get some type of compensation for him before, the end of the season. Dort, Baisley, Osman Dieng, 2 first rounds and 3 seconds for KD and Yuta Watanabe. I want more. If that's Oklahoma City, Sam, I want more. I want Chet. I want Giddey. I want a lot more players. Even give me SGA. I want SGA. That's the guy I want. If you want Durant, give me SGA. Sorry, I want a young guy. I want a young superstar to build this team around, and that's exactly what SGA is over there in Oklahoma City. So did the Brooklyn Nets just get robbed from Kyrie trade? I don't think they got robbed. Could they got more? Absolutely, Blue City, but I don't think they got essentially robbed. I think they got some good pieces. Finney-Smith is a very good defensive player. He can play small forward. He could also play the power forward position on on smaller lineups. He can hit the three-point shot. He's a good rebounder. He's a good defender. He's not a top power forward / small forward in the league, but he's a good player. So I'm happy about getting Dorian Finney-Smith here. And at the same time, you're getting back somebody that you're very familiar with in Spencer Dinwiddie. So, I mean, I'm not going to complain about that. Nets have the worst trade luck. You're not wrong there. Adam just said it before. We have the worst trade luck over the past 10 years. We think we make a good trade, and it ends up biting us in the ass. Like you said, the Jason Kidd trade that we made as well. I'll make up another trade that happened that year too, and that was Richard Jefferson, Jason Collins, and Brandon Armstrong for when we traded them on that draft night for the former Eddie Griffith. That trade that we made during that draft, that worked out really well for us too. Richard Jefferson was a tremendous player for us during that playoff run. Collins was very good. It was solid at center. Armstrong didn't really do much, but at the same time, I really, really love that trade too because it was Kidd, you had Martin developing, and then you had Jefferson, and it just all came together. Those three guys were the catalysts.
It was a trinity, right? You had your three guys. You know, Martin could play the power forward and small and center if you needed him to be. You know, RJ could defend anybody, any one of the best wings. He could defend them all. And then you had Jason Kidd, who was one of the best facilitators, if not the best facilitator ever to play, because he could dominate a game without even scoring that many points. So hard to do that in this day and age.
And that team was fun because they knew how to play defense and they were unselfish. And you know what made it actually really fun too? They were all young and it felt like a homegrown team. And you just made that one trade that really put them over the top. It's just unfortunate. They should have gotten it done in that second NBA Finals against the Spurs when they're playing against Robinson, Duncan, with Parker, I believe, was a rookie. You know, that team is the team they should have beaten. In fact, they should have won that game. I believe it was Game 6 during that second NBA Finals stint that they were there. But they ended up blowing it at the end, and then they eventually lost. I think it was Game 5, actually, and then they ended up losing Game 6. So that was the series they could have won. The Lakers series, they really weren't going to stand a chance. That Lakers team was unstoppable with Kobe and Shaq and all those great pieces around them with Derek Fisher, Fox. You had Robert Horry. Big Shot Horry, exactly. Their team was just unbelievable. I could not stand
The one thing I want to say before we keep the comments going is I feel like the Nets need to look at the Boston Celtics because they are doing it the right way. They let their guy Tatum develop. They let their guy Jaylen Brown develop. And here we are. They brought their glue pieces in, and they just let their players develop to the draft.
Who's the Japanese player that is currently playing for Brooklyn? That's Yuta Watanabe. I like Watanabe a lot. He's a very good shooter. Three-point shooter especially. He was actually the league leader in three-point percentage for a while. But then he got hurt. He's been banged up multiple times this year. I like Watanabe. I just think he got a little bit gassed, the amount of playing time he was playing this year. And I don't think he's like a natural top scorer. So I think the Nets were asking a little bit too much of him. Same thing with T.J. Warren. T.J. Warren, when he just came back off injury, he was playing great. The guy was an instant offensive player coming off the bench. But then he got worn down during the season too. And now he's hurt with a shin contusion. So the Nets have actually just not had luck too with injuries lately too. First Brooklyn trade away James Harden. Now they trade away Kyrie Irving, and then there's now only one. Yeah, that's true. Blue City.
The Suns want KD if he becomes available. They just announced
everybody's gonna want KD. I hope KD pretty much says I don't want to get traded.
Well, I mean, if they're a package deal and he knows and he can get out of Dodge now, you know, why wouldn't I? I mean, if you think this team is not, again, I just told you, Boston, Milwaukee in front of you at the very least, right? And if you don't think you're going to get over the top to get to the championship, which is essentially what you're trying to do, you might as well get rid of him and get some picks back and develop your young team going forward like that, right? That's just how I look at it. I mean, I think between the NBA and the NFL, the reason they're two different is because the NFL has a roster where you can stash guys away. You can't do that in the NBA the same way. You need to, you only got about 12 to 15 man rosters that are playing at night, right? Every night on the floor. So it's hard to hide guys there. So for me, if I'm the Nets, I got to make a decision right now. Say I got to call up his people and say, yo, KD, what do you want to do? Because if you're going to ride with us, I need you to give us your undivided attention, no complaining, get on board, and let's ride and see where we can go, right? If not, let's get on the phones now until Thursday, and see if we can make a move. Because that's what I'd be doing. I mean, that's what good business is.
The question is, though, what is Kevin Durant want to do? Is he willing to give this team a chance and see if this team maybe could surprise people and possibly make a run? They're better defensively now than they were before. Offensively, they're going to be weaker, but defensively, they're better.
See, the problem is that if this happened early on, you could ask that question. You have till Thursday. The deadline is Thursday. So right now you can't. You're basically telling Kevin, "This is our plan. This is what we're going to do. You're either on board or you're not." If he's and I need to, you basically should ask him, "Tell me the answer by Monday. Sleep on it. See what you want to do." That way you can get on the horn and make your moves because you don't have. I don't know how many games they play from now until um, uh, Thursday, right? That could be 2 games, could be 1
2
game, could be
games.
3.
They have a back-to-back on Monday and Tuesday. They have a game against the Clippers on Monday, and then they play the Suns on Tuesday before they have a Thursday night game on TNT against the Bulls.
Okay, so if you said to Kevin, listen, we'll give you till Wednesday night, the off day, when the game is over, to decide after playing with Dinwiddie and this guy for a couple of days, if you want to stay with us, fine. But we need to know, and that's even the 11th hour.
He's injured, right?
Who?
Kevin Durant, isn't he injured?
Yes, he's injured right now. He's got a sprained MCL.
I'll be right back.
Let me see. If they want, they got to get a deal done with OKC. It's the best scenario, but are the Thunder willing to risk it for KD? That's the question. If I were them, I wouldn't, but I'm not the GM, so I can't make the choice for them. Yeah, that is true. I'm telling you right now, Blue City. I'm telling you. Wait until James Harden gets into the playoffs. Just wait. Just wait. We know. When James Harden gets in the playoffs, playoff Harden comes out, and that's what what happens when playoff Harden comes out? Brick, injury, brick, whining, complaining, playing bad, out of the first round. That's what James Harden's going to do when he gets in the playoffs. So I'm telling you, nobody won that trade. Nobody won the James Harden-Ben Simmons trade. I'm telling you the truth.
The only way you win is if you hoist that finals trophy.
Exactly.
If you don't do that, then it means nothing. Because Jeff, you're right. Look at his history. Okay, ever since he left the Big Three in Oklahoma City, he went to Houston, failed there. Went to Brooklyn, failed there. Went to many other teams across and didn't do well in the finals, Western Conference Finals. Chance to go. Where was he? Came up short. And it's because when the pressure is on and you have to focus on him, the NBA in the regular season, you don't have to focus on him. He can run around, he can shoot and do all this stuff. But when you have to be the man, that's when he kind of wavers. Now, if they go on and beat the Celtics and they get over Milwaukee and they get to the finals and they win, then you can say you win the trade.
What's going on, NYG 22?
Yo, what's
How
up,
you doing,
man?
bro? A little bit surprised, but not really surprised about what just broke about a half an hour, 35 minutes ago. Just talking about with Adam and Mitch before in the chat. So, what do you think?
Yeah.
Adam and I talked about it before. What do you think about this news about Kyrie Irving over now to the Dallas Mavericks?
I mean, Kyrie has been doing a lot of flip-flopping. I posted a little short. Cam Thomas and Ed Sumner gave the Nets 75 points. And yeah, Kyrie can score. He can do a lot of different things on the court. But if you have a guy that doesn't want to be there, look, man, we New York Giants fans, we Nets fans, like, we want winners. Like, I don't want nobody that's sidetracked and got some other shit going on all the time. I think I was the one that said Kyrie should retire and just become some type of ambassador if that's what he wants to do, man, because clearly, man, is more to this dude than it is about just playing ball. So as far as the trade, look, I never thought we should have got rid of Spencer Dinwiddie. Like, dude's a good player.
Dinwiddie's a good player.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, he's not a scrub. He's not Kyrie, but he's not a scrub. I think the other guy, man, Smith, he gives you front court help defensively, so we definitely needed that. I think they got to make more moves though.
I agree.
And so now that leads us to the question, like, what happens with KD? Are you just gonna blow this whole thing up and just push the restart button, or are you gonna try to patch it back together and make a couple more moves and go for it this year? I mean, they're right there.
Where does that get you? Like, let's say you do that, right, and you don't end up winning, then you're sunk, because to me, it's like you either have to ask KD, like, yo, you're going forward with us, and we're going to try to build a championship and get you the pieces needed, or we got to get rid of you now. Because to me, the NBA
Exactly,
is
Sleeping
like,
Angels.
it's just tough to be like, oh, let's try to go for it, and then you
Ugh.
lose to Boston and you lose to Milwaukee. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree, Adam.
This is almighty finesse over here. He's always saying F the Nets suck, clown Nets, blah blah blah. He's saying it was a good trade for both teams. That's all I needed to hear. I think it's not a bad trade for the Nets. I think it's a very solid trade. Not great, but I think it's a decent trade. I'm sorry. Go ahead, fellas. Just
I would have wanted more. I would have wanted another first. I think the Nets need first round draft picks. So I would have asked for another first, but I mean, you got 2 seconds, you got 1 first, and you get 2 players. So
but the thing is, they knew that you want to get rid of him. Like, it's not like he was playing good,
right? And that's why I said what I said, Adam, to Jeffy and them before. I would have held my ground.
God
you know what I'm saying?
Miz.
Because you're desperate. They knew the Nets were desperate because they let Kyrie come out and you know what I'm saying, let that leak out about his contract. You know what I'm saying? So that was they kind of painted themselves in a corner with that one. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like with Kadarius Toney, right? If you want to trade him early on, the leak comes out. Now you can't trade him, right? And now everything falls through. So whatever happened here is you leaked that Kyrie. It probably was Kyrie's people, to be honest with you, that they were in discussions with. They leaked it, and now it ruins the best you can get because. People know when you're desperate. They smell the blood in the water, and they know, like, okay, we're going to really squeeze you here and make sure that you really want to trade this guy and not blow sunshine up our ass, right? So we'll see. I mean, like I said, there were a couple offers on the table. They decided to go with this one, and they get to get this. You get a guy out of here who doesn't want to be here, and I'm always the proponent of if you don't want to be here, then don't be here. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. Yeah.
If you don't want to be here,
what the hell are you talking about? I'm hearing the NFL is going to stop the defense from tackling. What? I hope you're trolling, bro. I'm sorry, Adam. This comment just threw me off a little bit. Blue City says I'm hearing rumors that the NFL is going to be banning and stop the defense from tackling. You got to be trolling, bro. You might as well. You try to tackle somebody in the NFL, 15-yard penalty, 15-yard penalty, flag, unnecessary roughness, illegal contact. Pass interference,
Well,
I'm sorry.
Let them do that, and then the goose egg, the golden goose, will be dried up because the NFL knows that they can only push the envelope so much further before the game gets too watered down, and that it just becomes a complete. Because people will go watch the AFL and watch those idiots hit each other, and knock the snot out of each other. They won't care. They'll go to that. But anyways, what I was saying is that I just feel like the Nets always do this. They always get in this position. They can never just do things smartly. And when you let a player like Kyrie Irving dictate where he wants to, he didn't really dictate where he wanted to go. He wanted to be out of here. Get him out of here. I mean, like, we've all been at jobs.
But he been flip flopping so much. He wanted to be here, then he wanted to have an extension. He opted into his player option. He could have left last year. He opted in.
Hey, Ron,
you know what I'm saying? He wanted more money, then he wanted to stay, then he wanted to get traded. Like, this dude is all over the fucking place, man.
Well, then good. It's good to get rid of him.
Yeah, at this point it is. I'm like, I supported Kyrie, man, but at this point, you don't want to be here, man. And I root for the Brooklyn Nets. I don't root for individuals.
Well, the thing is, NYG, it's the feng shui of the team, right? Because if you keep sitting there, you're letting your other guys down. Who cares about the money aspect of it? But if you want to be here, great. Then guys are going to want to come here. If you're not going to be here, guys are going to be like, well, why am I going to come here if Kyrie Irving doesn't know what he's going to do? Right? My whole appeal to coming here is playing with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, but you can't guarantee me that. Why? Because he's indecisive. So I rather, like I said, I'm one of those guys where if you don't want to be here, fine. Let's work something out. Get out. You get out. We're happy. You're happy. If you flourish over there, great. If it didn't work out here, think about it at your at jobs, right? We've all had jobs across our careers where we want
stop it, Miz.
And
stop it.
So let's see. If you're at a bad job and you want to leave, you tell your supervisor, hey man, I'm putting in my 2 weeks. I don't want to be here anymore. I don't like the culture, whatever, right? And they say, boom, and they go your separate ways. The desperate ones try to keep you here. The Nets aren't desperate. They don't. You're not winning with you. and we can win. We can definitely not win while you're not here. So.
And so I think at this point, you got to really consider moving on from Kevin Durant, because you're not building a team strong enough to beat Boston, or Milwaukee, for that matter. So at this point,
I didn't think we're beating Philadelphia or Cleveland either.
Man,
I think they're better than us
Philadelphia,
right
man.
now. But they
I
are
see
better
the
than us,
Eagle up
though.
there in the corner. I see him.
I know, but basketball-wise, they're probably a better team than us.
Lurking in the shadows, man.
The thing is, the NBA is not like the NFL where you could trade a couple guys and you're in the dance every year, right? The NFL is built like that. They like the parity of their game. That's why every game is one score and done. In the NBA, it's really top heavy. You go to the top heavy teams, and if you don't get, the three guys that you need to win the championship, because now it looks like you need about three capable guys and a couple role players that can help you out, you're really in a conundrum. And if you watch Kevin Durant, ever since he got his ring, he's basically a hired assassin. So now he'll go wherever it needs to be. To me, Phoenix is another hired assassin team. He goes there. He's not the focal point. He could be KD. He could be the guy that throws 35 points a night. Because,
I want a bag for KD though. Like,
yes, I do.
Because he's under contract. Yeah, he don't got no leverage.
No,
he didn't have no leverage in the summer. That's why he came back.
Should become an astronaut.
Go see if the world is flat.
Yeah, exactly. That was his mission many years ago, saying the world was flat.
Well, yeah, now he can go see it in Dallas, right? Because isn't NASA down there? He can go fly. He can go take some courses down at NASA over there. So, we'll see. See, what I want to see is how his chemistry is going to work out over in Dallas, because what is Dallas doing? Are they trying to gear up for a championship? Because the team is pretty strong.
I don't know what
good luck with that one.
I don't know what they're doing either. Yeah, with Luka Doncic and Kyrie, two ball-dominant players. Okay.
They're gonna clash.
Yeah, it ain't gonna work.
Because I think, like I said, you need a guy. In my heyday, I always thought of a point guard when I was growing up. If you're not Jason Kidd and you can't affect the game with your passing, you need to eventually score.
I agree. I'm like that too, Adam. I'm old school when it comes to the point guard position. I don't.
Right.
These combo guards they got now, I don't. You know what I'm saying?
No,
I like traditional point guards.
Guys, do you agree with this comment? They should have traded Kyrie last year instead of Harden.
No.
Champagne Poppy says.
No, I don't agree with that at all.
Okay.
Well, if you don't know that hindsight's going to be what it is right now, right? You can't say, well, next year he's going to want.
I mean, you try to make it work with a guy like Kyrie. Obviously, it didn't. But just from a basketball standpoint, I would rather have Kyrie than James Harden. I do not like James Harden. I don't like the way
when Kyrie is locked in, he's locked in, and he can take over a game.
Exactly.
Right? Harden, when he's locked in, he's got to bite his fingernails, rummage through his beard a little bit. He doesn't have the same killer instinct that Kyrie has when Kyrie is on. Look what Kyrie did with that championship in Cleveland. I mean, of course, Golden State got a couple guys that shouldn't have been out, but the point was, if LeBron doesn't win that without Kyrie Irving, with coming in there and being locked in. And the year before, when he gets injured in the finals, it totally changed the whole finals when he came out because they couldn't do anything to him. That's why the year when they went back and won, Kyrie was averaging like 30 points a game that finals, right? Because they couldn't do anything to guard him because they were all focused on LeBron. Now, if you bring him in here, you were hoping that that's what the Nets were getting. The Nets were hoping they were getting that Kyrie Irving, the killer instinct guy that can take over a game, not the one that's sitting there wondering if the flowers grow on the north side of trees and shit. You know what I mean? Like, no, I don't need that guy. A distraction. And usually this was what happens with the Nets. I don't know if maybe it's the water. Maybe it's the water. I don't know, man.
I have no idea. I mean,
it's New York, man.
I stand New York. What's going on? Thank you for coming by the live stream.
The Knicks aren't any good either.
What's going on?
Good to have you on the live stream, bro. Are you a Nets fan, by the way?
Oh yeah, ever since the Jersey days. But listen, man, I'm feeling good about this. The ball's gonna move more. We're gonna run.
Good to have you on the live stream, bro.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Let me say this.
What's good?
Look at this guy right here. Look at this guy right here just sitting here laughing at us. Laughing at us. Laugh at the Nets fans.
Must be a Knicks fan.
I'm not laughing.
Gotta be a Knicks fan.
He is.
Gotta be.
Yeah.
That's right. Put him
Oh,
in the
come
gulag.
Miz.
Put him in the gulag.
I'm sorry, Iceman. Apologies.
No, let
That was our
Iceman
buddy
speak.
Miz. Go ahead, Iceman.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, sorry, I had a little pop up. So yeah, I feel good about this trade. Like the ball's gonna move more, we're gonna run more, and I've noticed every
Exactly.
single time Kyrie was unavailable, the team always builds organic chemistry. It's a positive basketball vibe, and it's like you see it in KD's face. He likes how the ball moves. I mean, we went on a winning streak a couple of times this year without him, and every time he came back, I mean, a team is going to need Kyrie's skills, but it's like the ball stops whenever he comes, man. And
ISO ball.
Watanabe stopped scoring when he came back. I mean, you saw TJ Warren getting less looks. People forget that we're getting these guys and the guys that are out. In addition to that, I'm pretty sure Sean Marks is going to use the picks to get something else. And it's like this team reminds me of, I mean, I don't want to go on a stretch, but that Mavs team that won the chip, where they had like significant little pieces here and there, old Tyson Chandler, you know, old Jet, but this team is much younger. The defense is going to be better. But listen, man, this is like killing a million birds with one stone because, first of all, the cancer is gone. You understand? His fan base is absolutely gone, which I couldn't stand his fan base, to be honest with you. All these kids born in the 2000s and the 90s was making it unbearable for the rest of the Nets fans. So that's another one. And, you know, I'm feeling good about it, you know. And if we do decide to trade KD, it's something to look forward to because we could get Brandon Ingram in there with those guys. So, you know, I'm seeing like the wins on this trade. I don't know what you guys think.
I mean, I'm curious to see what's going to happen with, like, you know, obviously with Kevin Durant. But I actually don't disagree with what you were saying, Iceman. I look at guys like Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas is a guy we all believe could become a really good offensive player in this league. He's already displayed it multiple times. NYG22, Mr. Unpopular Opinion Sports over here on the bottom right, he was talking about Edmund Sumner as another guy that's a guy that could be able to go out there and score some points, maybe take over as that potential starting point guard, but I believe he's going to be a backup now. We have guys that can score. It's just more of a consistent basis on a night in and night out day, like, you know, game set. Whereas like Kyrie Irving, you knew every time he was going to be out there, he was going to give you your production offensively and be able to light it up for like 20, 25, 30 points per night. It's just now you have to hope that some of these other younger players on the team are going to be able to step it up going forward.
It's ISO ball. That's
Play
what it
me
is.
a violin, you fucking Net fans. Hold on.
It's ISO ball. What happens is when Kyrie Irving comes in, the offense stops because you're focusing so much attention and so much offense on him. You're relying heavily on him to give you that 20 points a game, and when he doesn't, it affects everybody else who are rhythm shooters or feed off of the movement of the basketball. Right? It's almost like a good quarterback losing his starting receiver and then being able to spread it around so much because they have tunnel vision on going to one guy. Right? Same thing in basketball here. If you have one guy that's constantly you have to rely on to get 20 points and then have to rely on KD, the other guys fall off because they're not being utilized correctly. You have to get Kyrie his shots. With Dinwiddie, he's more of a facilitator. He'll take his shots when they're there. He'll facilitate. He'll drive to the basket to allow more opportunities. But he's more of a selfless player, which allows guys like KD and Cam Thomas and these other players to do what they do best: hit shots, play defense.
Yeah, the thing
Wait,
is, how's it gonna
wait.
mess with KD? You know what I'm saying? That's
How long
that's
has
the
these two
thing.
guys been on the Nets? How long? How many years? 4 years.
4 years.
That's what I got to say to you guys. 4 years of fucking epic failure. Bottom line, failure. Two superstars that can never win without having the biggest superstar on their team. They've been nothing but cancer. It's been a disease.
Are you a Knicks fan?
This guy Irving, stop.
Yes,
This
he
guy
is.
Irving,
Yes, he is.
this guy disappears
So
for
how are you
3
going to come in here when the Brooklyn Nets have had more
I'm gonna come in
winning
here.
seasons the last time? This is like you and your Jet fan rant. You just want to throw up your
Listen,
rings and your
stop
dusty old trophies in our face and act like, hey, we deserve better than you, man. The Knicks haven't won
You're
since
pro. The
1970
team
something.
is garbage. They don't even belong in Brooklyn. Stop it. They're second tier. They're not.
Oh, that's
They always will be.
disrespectful.
Come on, Miz.
Oh, that's
Oh,
so
come on.
Well, I mean, coming from the source,
disrespectful.
I'm not surprised.
I know people that go there to have a date. They get a drink and they're out by the second quarter. You know.
Hey, it's a
That's-
nice stadium. What can you say? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
I like to go there.
And yet that piece of
Irving-
garbage basketball team has beaten the Knicks, 9-10 straight
Well, whatever
times?
it is, whatever it is,
man.
I get it. This guy Irving, he disappears for 2 weeks. He wants to go take a trip to the moon. He's over there because he's religious. He went over there because he wanted to dance.
No, we don't.
He suddenly believed in God. He disappeared for a month. He's got
It's
a
funny.
problem
You
with
love-
the Jewish people. Come on.
It's funny.
This guy's been nothing but a
If the New York
now.
Knicks had this guy, it'd be a different story, right?
They
But
wanted
the
him,
Brooklyn Nets
right.
have this
What are
guy,
you talking
and here we
about?
go.
This
You know
guy
what I
is the
mean?
same
It's
reason
like-
why I don't want Odell on the Giants.
I
It's
mean,
the
give me a
same
break.
character.
They wanted him.
You wanted Odell. I mean, we're not even going to go down the Odell route. The thing
No, I don't want
that
the
annoys
Odell.
me,
It's the
the
same
thing that
guy.
annoys
It's
me.
all about it's me. I don't care about the team. I don't owe the fans anything. It's all about me.
I'm
Yeah,
glad
man.
he's gone. I mean, he's toxic, man. It's just even
Well,
the
that's always
fans
been.
really, and we don't deal with him on a daily basis. We're just fans. Imagine the people that deal with him on a daily basis. Like, wow.
I blame the entire organization. I blame the owner for how they've handled this. I blame the GM for how they handled this.
I don't think was he the
every
GM that
single
brought him
person.
in. The GM that's here now, he didn't bring him in, right?
Yeah,
he didn't
yes, he
make this
did.
trade.
Yes, he
He
did.
did?
Marks is the
Sean
one that brought him in.
Marks, yeah.
Sean Marks signed him and
He's
Kevin
the cause of
Durant.
all this bullshit.
Sean Marks is the one that signed him on a deal. He signed him and Kevin
Yeah.
Durant 4 years ago, and then he's the one that traded for Harden. Then he
Yeah.
traded Harden for Simmons, and now he's traded away Kyrie Irving.
Right.
Sean Marks
He
has been here
Dave
from the
Gettleman.
beginning.
He Dave Gettleman'd us.
I can't say Dave
Well,
Gettleman.
I mean,
because
I don't
he
think
did bring a
he
bunch
was
of players
trying
in.
that. I don't think he was
It's
trying
been
to like,
bad.
hey, let's do that.
It's been bad.
No, but
It's been
before
bad.
it wasn't bad. When it first started, it had promise. But
Well,
then it became
Yeah,
too
when
weak.
Dave Gettleman first started, he had promise too, but it went
But he
did
sour.
bring in
So did
some-
Jerry Reese.
How come all of a sudden this guy wanted out of nowhere? All of a sudden I want to be
That's
traded.
true.
He wanted a contract. Man,
His
thing about
contract-
He wanted
Sean
a
Marks, he's not
extension,
assertive,
contract
man.
extension.
Yeah.
He's
Ma-
not
Mason,
assertive.
because
He doesn't take action.
You
bro.
know that KD's next, right? You guys do know this.
possibly, I don't know. I don't know
Yeah,
what Kevin
it's a good
Durant wants.
chance.
You don't
I don't
think
know.
I
these
wouldn't be
two,
surprised.
you
I
don't
wouldn't be
think
surprised.
these two are in cahoots that they didn't talk about making their way out of here?
You don't know if KD facilitated the trades for Kyrie. You don't know
That's
if
true.
if KD is the
Mhm,
reason that
true.
Kyrie wanted out. You don't know that.
Well, why aren't they a
we
package
gotta
deal?
wait till KD says something.
Like, why aren't they both going to the same team? Because if you're going to orchestrate something to try to get your guy out, and you guys don't end up in the same team, then it's kind of stupid to orchestrate a trade like that. But if you
Right.
know that you're going to, Dallas is interested in KD as well, then you get rid of both of them. I think what they're going to
No,
try
it's
to
not.
do is wait till the 11th hour, get the best possible offer. If not, just keep them, right?
I think
So-
they keep him because they don't have. He
What-
doesn't
what
have
is-
any
I don't even-
leverage.
He
He's
signed
under
a contract
for what?
extension.
4
I
years,
don't even
right?
know
Yeah.
exactly what you got for
Yeah.
Irving. Someone tell me what exactly.
We got Spencer Dinwiddie. We got Dorian Finney-Smith. We got an unprotected 2029 first-round pick, a 2027 second-round pick, and a 2029 second-round pick.
Good God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, that Dallas
Oh,
has zero
shit.
depth, man. They have no bench. They got 2 ball handlers, man. I don't know.
That's what they're trying to do.
Yeah,
trying to
I don't
win.
like that. I don't like that trade at all for Dallas. That shit don't make
Them
sense.
losing Jalen Brunson, they've been trying to fill that hole, and just to get
Well,
off.
you know what's funny
Man.
is the evolving
Yeah, I agree.
the evolution of the NBA right now. Because 4 years ago when they made this trade, it was, hey, let's get a championship now. Everyone's doing that two tiered team, where you get those 2 big stars and you can play. It was working in the Western Conference, and let's try to do it in the Eastern Conference. Well, now, like I said, teams like Boston, you watch Boston, that Jason Tatum came up through their draft system. Right, Jaylen Brown came up through their draft system. They brought in Marcus Smart. He came up and they made a team, and you're starting to see a full team win games now. They're the best team in
I know.
the conference for a reason. You know what I mean? Milwaukee won because they didn't rely on just one guy. Their role players stepped up and they built a team. The Nets never built a team. They get rid of their depth to bring in these star players
Right.
who then get injured,
Yeah.
and then you have nobody left on your team.
Well, Miz,
And
the
see,
reason
now
why
we're building the depth now because
exactly.
we have guys emerging like Nicholas Claxton, like Day'Ron Sharp, like Cam Thomas. So it
Hey,
would be
King.
smart for the Nets to
Yes, he
use,
will.
like you said, Adam, build those picks out and try to build this roster out. So if you do need to get something for KD, you better off getting a lot of draft picks and just rebuilding and resetting. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Right.
And Miz, the reason why that Kyrie Irving demanded a trade is because the Nets and him were trying to work out an extension, but they wanted to add incentives into that contract extension they were talking about. And Kyrie Irving didn't want to have any of those incentives added into his contract. So then he pretty much went up to management and said, I want to be traded. I don't want to be here. I don't care what type of negotiations you want to give or even a full-time deal. I want out. And he apparently wanted about $198.5 million over 4 years. That was the contract he was looking for. And he even said he would threaten to sit out the entire season if he didn't do it.
That's too much, man.
That's
Like,
the best
this
thing.
dude is just
Is that
too
they
much.
got rid of this guy. I'll be honest. It's better off.
There's
to just
too
move
much
on.
problems with this dude, bro. It's like nothing can be simple.
Right.
Like, bro, just wait till the summer. We told you we got you, but everything is no.
I
It's
heard
my
that
time.
too.
It's my time. Like,
That
come
don't
on,
matter.
bro.
Even if you did that, he'd still be another problem next year. You know, like he'll come up with some excuse to go disappear for 2 weeks. Who knows?
Then act like a victim. Like I hate that victim shit.
But that's
I'm
what
tired
the
of that
NBA
shit.
has done. The
Yes.
NBA has given the players the victim card to use, right? The NFL's cutthroat. We'll cut your ass because we have a salary cap. F you,
Doing good,
right?
Jers.
You know, with the NBA, they don't have that hard cap, so the players demand what they want to demand, and they're like, "Well, I'm not going to play, and I'm going to sit out." And you're stuck either paying this albatross of a contract, and this guy's sitting here, or getting something for him and hoping that your team can recover. You know.
Well, Miz, I'm just curious with your team, the Knicks. Do you think your team is going to make a trade by the NBA trade deadline this Thursday? Or think you guys are going to stand pat?
Who the hell knows?
Would you like to see them make a trade, though? Or
You
would you
don't
like to
follow
see
the
them
Knicks
continue
like
the way they
that.
are?
Yeah, I do. I like the Knicks to continue doing them the way they're building, but I know that what's his name? Why is his name? See my now because I'm
RJ Barrett?
No,
Oh, Julius Randle?
Randall, his stock is as high as it's ever going to be right now. I don't know what they could get for him, but
Okay, Jers.
I think they're
they're
gonna trade.
not
RJ,
going to win a
man.
championship right now with this exact team. So maybe you do trade him. I like him a lot on the Knicks, but if you could
I
get something
don't like the
future-
more I'm looking at this trade though, man. It's not bad. I mean,
Bro, they're
because you
gonna
get
run
a
the floor now.
yeah, and you get a guy that you get better
No,
defense.
Champagne,
Like you
good
upgrade
dude.
your
Just
defense.
messing around.
You know, because what has been the Nets' problem is defending the perimeter.
Oh my God, yeah. We can't play.
You know?
We can't play defense, and that's exactly what a guy like Dorian Finney-Smith can do.
Yeah,
He's a
this
good
helps.
defensive player.
Yeah,
It's a good
yeah.
help on the defensive side. We got weaker offensively, but defensively we improved. And Dinwiddie's not a terrible defensive player. I mean,
Nah, he's
Markieff
not.
Morris was
He's not
giving you
trash.
nothing. Markieff Morris was giving you nothing this year. And Kyrie Irving, as much as we applaud him for his offensive game, he's not good defensively. He can't play
No.
defense. He was a weakness on the court defensively, and now we just got stronger. I'm just curious to see what move do we make next, because I think this is not it. Like you said, MYG, Iceman, Adam, I don't think we're done. I think there's going to be another move or two still on the horizon because we're very guard heavy right now. Because we got Finney-Smith.
They gotta get Harris. They gotta get Joe Harris out of there.
They can't. I think his contract is guaranteed.
They gotta try
now
to
for the rest
move
of the
him.
season.
They gotta try to move him.
I don't think they can trade him this year.
Yeah,
I
but
think
you
it
know
has
what,
to be the
guys?
season.
What do you
A
mean?
guy like Joe
I
Harris,
think he's staying. I think
a
he's
guy like
he's
Joe
stuck
Harris
here.
doesn't bother me as much because he doesn't cause as much drama. And
Yeah.
if he gets hot in a streak, you can use him here and there. So I
No,
mean,
he's a good guy. I mean, from a
No.
basketball standpoint,
No.
you got to get rid of either him or Seth Curry. Because like Jeffy said, we're too guard heavy. You got him, Seth Curry, and Patty Mills, or three players with the same skill set.
I get rid of Pat Mills.
I would actually
Yeah,
get rid of
he
Seth
has the-
Curry. I would trade Seth Curry.
Patty Mills has the least value, though. You're gonna have to give
Seth
it's gonna
Curry
be
has the
Joe
most.
or Seth. Yeah,
It's going to be
probably
Seth because he's a free agent after the end of the season,
Yeah.
and he's
I
produced
agree.
more. So I think Seth would
Well,
be the
we'll
one to
see.
give
I
you the
mean,
most capital.
I don't know, man. I mean, they kind of play an amoeba type of game because Kevin Durant is such a kind of a unique player because he's 6'10" and he can play three positions: small forward,
Yeah.
power forward, and center. So you got to figure out what your lineup is. I think that's the problem when you have a guy like KD. Is you got to figure out where am I going to play him and how am I going to build a team to complement his skill set. right? Because what Golden State did is they had Draymond Green play the center position. He played power forward, and it allowed him to move around because they're all small out there, right? When you come to the Nets, there's nobody really like that, like a Draymond Green,
No.
to help him out and facilitate on defense. They're trying to do it with Ben Simmons, but Ben Simmons is a head case and he gets
Oh,
injured.
God.
So, you know,
He's
we'll
a
see.
man.
I mean, he's a phenomenal defender when he wants to play, but that's the problem is when he wants to play.
He's a good facilitator, too. He's actually not bad facilitating the ball and getting rebounds. It's just
But in this NBA, you've got to be more than that.
Exactly. You're afraid to shoot. He's
Yeah.
afraid to go to the basket and shoot.
The 90s, if he was in the 90s, he'd be an ideal player, right? Because you don't need him to score. He comes in, gets some fouls for you, plays some defense, grabs some boards. If he gives you 10 points, you're like, okay, great, right? But now because he's labeled a wing player, you know, in this day and age, your wing players need to drop points on a consistent basis and not be the facilitator. Like if Jason Kidd, right? That era, that's where Bobby Simmons flourishes because I don't need you to score. I got three other guys who can do it. But if I'm relying on you to be that guy and the facilitator, that's where you got the problem. And the thing is, it's funny. He kind of scored his first couple of years in the league and then just kind of went. Like, okay.
Yeah, exactly. He just he forgot how to play offense all of a sudden. But you guys remember a player named Jahlil Okafor?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Remember how good he was coming out of college, and he was projected to be a pretty good center. The reason why he didn't work out is because he was another one of those guys that would have probably been better in the old school type of NBA, a guy that could, go down towards the basket, battle somebody, back into somebody and try to go up for some of those big time plays like Shaquille O'Neal and Olajuwon Mourning, one of those types of old school centers. He was not a type of player that could come into this new age of NBA and hit 3-point shots, hit jump shots, do anything like that. That wasn't his game. And it's ironic, he didn't last very long with the Philadelphia 76ers, and he's been bouncing around all over the place. In fact, Mitch just told me he's actually back with the 76ers, I think part of the G League. That's what Ben Simmons is. Like Adam just said, he's not really a good fit for this era of the NBA where he's not really, as a player in the past, you could have been a good defensive player like a Dennis Rodman. He could have been like a Dennis Rodman type player, facilitate the ball, play great defense, rebound the basketball. It doesn't have to go out there and shoot necessarily because you had other guys out there, but you have to be somewhat aggressive.
He could be Cornelius Williamson.
You need to have an offense. Exactly. You have to have some type of offensive game now in this present NBA, and he just doesn't have it. That's the problem with somebody like Ben Simmons is he's just afraid to utilize his offense on the court. Sometimes when he actually plays aggressive, he's not that awful. It's just you have to wish he's going to be able to do that.
I agree. I mean, there's the main reason why I like the Finney-Smith move because I cannot stand seeing Kevin Durant playing defense in the paint. I get scared every time. He's playing down there. He should be playing the three. And
I agree.
That's a big reason Sean Marks had to make a move because you're putting that man at risk. He's already had a major injury. You don't want what just happened to him to happen at a severe level. So, Finney-Smith could shoot the three. You could put him there with Claxton that moment, and it's going to make the defense powerful. So, we'll add another move, and, it'll be interesting to see. It'll be because we could use our weapons in a different way that people are not expecting.
I think you play more of an open style of basketball, which allows you to defend better, not be so ISO. I mean, the Boston Celtics, if you watch their game, they're very open. They try to get the open shot, and then if they can't, they try to do one-on-one and break the guy down. But if they get an open shot, they're passing it. With the Nets, when you had Kyrie Irving, like I said, you're getting ISO ball. It's the two of us. It's either Kevin Durant or Kyrie Irving, one of those two, and most likely Irving's going to be like, I put the ball in my hands because I'm the guy, and he's going to sit there for 5 minutes, do his and one mixtape while you're waiting for while the shot.
Everybody else standing on the outside waiting to see if
waiting for the ball, and then the shot clock goes down right to like 3, 2, 1. He passes it late, or he takes a bad shot, and you run down floor, and now you're out of position defensively. What a guy, like I said, Dinwiddie does is he allows you to threaten the defense inside, allows you to get that penetration without having to worry about, is he going to take the shot? Because if I'm open, I'm getting the ball. It means you stay at a rating position. When you play like a guy like Kyrie Irving, you kind of get lazy. You're kind of not ready to get the ball because you never know who's going to pass. Dinwiddie's going to give it to you. So you got to be ready. When you get to your spot, be ready to get that rock.
Bro, I remember that Boston game, not the last one, but the one before that where they played at Barclays. And we cut the lead down. I think it was like the 7 or 5 in the fourth quarter. And then Kyrie just kept jacking up shots. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Pass the ball, pass. And he kept going and missing, going and missing.
That's what he does.
It's like he like took us out the game. It was all about him, and he kept
That's
going.
Kyrie Irving. That's what he does.
He kept going. I'm like, bro, everybody's wide open. Pass the ball, bro. And that was it. We had the momentum going. We could have taken that game, and it was like, wow, man, this is a pure example of, you take some, but you lose some, But hey,
But
whatever.
this is addition by subtraction, so to speak, right? Because like you said, he's playing ISO ball. Guys are wide open. You get lazy. I'm telling you, it happens. Ask all the shooters when they play with a guy who hogs the ball a little too much. They never know if they're going to get the ball, so they run to their spots because everybody's got spots on the floor where the coach knows, hey, your chances of making it are good here. Get to that spot, right? And of course, in practice, they practice the shot and everything like that. But a game is a different situation. A guy like Kyrie Irving asking for all this money wants the ball, but the problem is when you do that and you have a guy who can actually shoot and you get him out of his rhythm, then you lose because then when you do pass him the ball and he bricks it, he's not in rhythm, he's not shooting, he's been stale, sitting there waiting to get the ball, and it messes up your whole offense. With a guy like I said, Dinwiddie, he's gonna make this. It's gonna be a different brand of basketball you see when he plays. It's going to be more frenetic up and down the floor. He'll be able to take the 3-pointer and help you with that game, but he could also dominate the game without having to score many points because he's going to pass you the rock. And as long as you're at your spot and you knock the 3 down or the 2 down or whatever your jump shot is, you'll be fine. You know what? Talking to you guys, I'm more excited now than ever because these type of guys always go stale, right? If you don't have he doesn't have LeBron James to kind of take all 4 guys away from him so he can beat Kyrie Irving. He has Kevin Durant. Well, if Kevin Durant's not on, sometimes when Kevin Durant's not on, it's a tough night because if you're not getting his 25 points in the game and then Kyrie Irving's not scoring, you're out of luck. At least in Cleveland, he knew that he could rely on LeBron getting 35 points and he can sneak in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I still think that we need at least another big because I like Day'Ron Sharp a lot, but that dude he fouls way too much. A couple of nights ago, he got 5 fouls and didn't contribute that much offensively. He has the ability to be a good player, but he needs to reduce the amount of fouls he commits. And I still believe he needs a little bit more time developing as a center. I think he's getting there, but I think we might need another veteran big man to bring in to at least, help out Sharp with his continuation of his development going forward.
All right, fellas, I'm going to head out. Thanks for having me on for a few minutes.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to step out too. I'll keep watching. So.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Iceman. Thank you so much,
man.
Adam.
Peace, man. Peace, Iceman. Peace, Adam,
always
man.
a pleasure.
No problem, guys.
Appreciate
No doubt, man. Always, my brother.
Thank you. But NYG, I was going to ask you real quickly, what do you think the Nets are going to do to put together this lineup now, currently, while going into these next couple of days? And what else do you think the Nets might do?
What's the status on Simmons?
I don't know.
Like
He's still
his
got
health
that
status.
knee soreness. He's got that left knee soreness, so it's possible that he could miss another game or so. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if they hold him out until the trade deadline. I don't know. Same thing with TJ Warren. He's got a shin contusion, so I think he's closer than Simmons is. And then also Curry got hurt too. Curry had left the game a couple of nights ago with an abductor strain. So, I mean, at this point, I don't even know who's actually going to be available. We might actually not have enough players going into the game on Monday unless the trade is actually completed. So we might be going into this game on Monday night shorthanded. I don't even know who's left.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to have to be Cam Thomas and Claxton and the crew. You know what I'm saying? Royce O'Neal and them. I mean, Harris.
Got to get something from Joe Harris. We got to get something from Joe Harris. He's better than the way he's playing. He is. He's better than the way he's playing.
Yeah, I just wish I could move Joe Harris and Ben Simmons, but I mean, it is what it is. No. They're stuck. So, I mean, we just gonna have to keep it moving, man. I mean, do you think the Nets are going to move Kevin Durant? Then if the answer to that will tell me where this team is probably going to go, what moves they're probably going to try to make.
See, I don't know because I don't know what's in Kevin Durant's mind right now. That's the problem. I really don't know what this guy's thinking because maybe you weren't that far off when you were saying that Kevin Durant might have been one of the people behind orchestrating this trade, and maybe he was just sick and tired of Kyrie Irving's BS that was going
Could
on
be.
behind the scenes. Or maybe he's just going to be fed. He's going to look at this team right now and say, well, now Kyrie Irving's not here. I got a bunch of good players, some very good, but none of them are superstars on the level of what I am. So, I mean, Kevin Durant might need at least another day or so, like Adam said, evaluate this team, give it a day or so, and then maybe he's going to go up to the organization and either tell them, I'll give it a chance with this team, or I want out, please trade me by the trade deadline, and they'll try to see if they can find a place for Kevin Durant to play. I don't know. We'll probably find out something within the next day or two, what's going to happen with Kevin Durant, and probably sometime before Thursday. But, I mean, I think the team is – obviously it's not better right now than it was before. You can't say you're a better team when you trade away a talent like Kyrie Irving, but Dinwiddie's a good player. I like Dorian Finney-Smith. The draft picks, I mean, the later draft picks, so I love that. But still at the same time, I got to see the health-wise of this team. Ben Simmons has got to get healthy. And I got to see what other little moves this team makes and what Kevin Durant has to say. I'm looking all over the place for Shams, Woj, whoever it is, if they have anything, what Kevin Durant might be saying right now. Because, I mean,
yeah, he
that's the
isn't
biggest
saying
thing.
nothing. It's just, of course, people are going to be interested in KD because they think he's on the trading block, but that's natural. You know what I'm saying? I know Phoenix and a couple other teams are interested, man. But personally, I don't think they're going to move KD. I mean, look, you're fourth in the Eastern Conference. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I mean, you can be patient. What was the old saying? You know what I'm saying? Rebuild and still compete or whatever. They can still do that, man, with KD here.
No.
Would you be a championship team? Probably not. You know what I'm saying? Depending on if you can make another major move or not. I'm hearing OG Anunoby's name being floating out there. So maybe that's something they look to
Would you consider him a
acquire.
superstar, though? Would you consider him a superstar? Because I don't.
No, not at all. He's another piece, man. But if you can put enough pieces around KD, I mean, maybe you can do something. So yeah, I mean, we looking at it from that standpoint, maybe they're a more complete team without Kyrie Irving, but that remains to be seen, man, because you still got to be able to score the basketball in crucial moments. I like what I've seen out of Cam Thomas. I want them to continue to develop him, get this guy some more minutes. Kyrie Irving's not there now. You can get this guy more involved, and maybe you can develop him into a piece moving forward to where, he can be one of those, scorers. Not saying he's not obviously the complete package pause like Kyrie is, but he can be a scorer. He can give you 20-25 a game. So I don't see why they couldn't roll with him, develop him. KD, Spence, and maybe you add a Anunoby or something, and Claxton, and you roll with those guys. I would not be mad at that, man, if that's the direction they go in. But don't half-ass it. Either build, make some more moves, and get this team together and make a run for the playoffs, or just tear it all down. Don't put us through the ringer to think that you guys are trying to win a championship when you're really not. So
Exactly. Don't screw with your fans. Just like give it to
right.
us. Give it to us the way we want to know it. If you're going to say legit, come out there and say if you think this team is not a championship team, just come out and say we're not ready to win a championship, and just try and look for the best deal for Kevin Durant, and you get like a monster deal from him. Draft packages, like lots of draft picks. First young players with upside. That's why I'm looking at Phoenix, because Phoenix, to me, if we end up moving Durant, that's the team I'll look for, or even Oklahoma City. I'm glad somebody brought up Oklahoma City earlier, because Oklahoma City's got a lot of young talent and draft pick on that team. That's a team I would explore. And the first guy, when it comes to Oklahoma City, I want is SGA. I want Sean Gilgeous-Alexander. If I want any trade with Oklahoma City, Gilgeous-Alexander is the player I want. And when it comes to Phoenix, it's obviously Devin Booker. That's the guy I want over there. Or I maybe Ayton, but I'm not really sold on Ayton because we got Claxton. So I don't know.
I don't want Ayton.
No, I don't want Ayton to.
Give
He's
me
too
Booker,
he's
man. I
soft.
mean, if it's like I'm not, I mean, I'm either you gonna give me your franchise's future, which is a lot of draft picks, you know what I'm saying, or
Exactly.
you're going to give me somebody that's really, really good, a budding superstar. Well, he's not even Devin Booker is a superstar,
Yeah.
so
He's not great
um
defensively though, but he's a phenomenal.
nah, I mean he's a scorer. It won't
Yeah.
it won't make it won't make up for the fact of losing Kevin Durant, but you still get a guy in there that can at least make your team and keep you in somewhat relevant in the Eastern Conference. You know what I mean? So um
The biggest
yeah,
question
man.
too is I mean, I know how much Kevin Durant likes the upside of Cam Thomas. Can Cam Thomas develop into that second scorer on this team? That second guy you can count on offensively in a game in and game out situation, because out of all the players we have on this team right now, the one offensively that has by far the most upside is Cam Thomas, besides Kevin Durant. That kid now has an opportunity to really become that big time scorer. I wonder if
You
they
got to
throw
give
him
him
the
some
starting
minutes.
lineup.
Yeah,
He
they
has
got to
to
give him
get
some
minutes.
minutes.
Would you
Yeah,
start
I
him
don't
or would
want
you
you
have
don't
him
need
come
to
in the
start
sixth
him.
man?
He could come up first man off the bench, man. The guy had
Or would
44
you make
points in
Dinwiddie the
29
sixth man?
minutes.
Would you make him the starter, or would you
I'd
make
make Cam
Spencer
Thomas
Dinwiddie the starter?
I make Cam Thomas the sixth man, because when KD comes back, Cam Thomas is going to be the one to lead that second unit. He's going to be the one to
That's
give
true.
you the scoring off that second. If you put him in the starting lineup, now you make your bench weaker. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely want to see Cam coming off the bench, but I want him to be the first one off the bench, man. The guy needs to get at least 25 to 30 minutes a game, because now there's no excuse. Kyrie isn't there, and you need scoring. Dinwiddie can give you points, you know what I'm saying? But um, he ain't gonna be it alone. You're gonna need a consistent effort from both your point guards, Sumner too. Whenever he gets in the game. So all those guys are gonna have to contribute, man. Now without Kyrie, it's like you got to put all the parts together to make what you got from that one player. I think they can do it.
Exactly.
Sumner can play defense. Dinwiddie can
Yes,
play
he
a little bit
can.
of
Yes, he
defense.
can. Yes, he can.
Cam's got to get better, but he's willing. You know what I'm saying? So, but
And
you need
Royce
the
O'Neal
scoring.
too. Royce O'Neal can score as
Right.
well. It's just too inconsistent. That's the problem when you were talking about it when we was doing the game last night. That's why I was like a little bit weary about Edmund Sumner, because I've seen these flashes from him from time to time, but then he disappears and either doesn't play, or when he's on the court, he doesn't do anything. So I say like he's
I'm
just
not looking
not
for him to be a
consistent.
scorer. Yeah, I'm not looking for him to be a scorer though. You're looking for him to be a defender. You looking for him to come in or play alongside somebody like Cam Thomas or Kyrie Irving or Spencer Dinwiddie. Just to give you that defensive presence. Like when you go up against guys like Lillard, Curry, whoever else, you want a guy that can guard the opposing player's best guard. You know what I'm saying? And you want to have somebody in there so that way your superstar doesn't burn out their energy on the defensive end. See what I'm saying?
No, I hear what you're saying. Absolutely. I mean, I just want to know what's next. That's it. Kyrie Irving is gone. I mean, I'm blaming the organization and Irving himself. I think it was just an absolute failure from the entire team on why this did not work out. I think that it all started with the fact that this team didn't hold these guys accountable when they started to, put down their foot. It started with Kenny Atkinson getting fired when he should have never gotten fired. It started with Sean Marks getting too greedy and trading away all his picks and trading away all his young assets for James Harden, trying to see if he could win a championship. Best chance was to do it a couple of years ago against the Bucks. We know what happened. Irving got hurt. Harden got hurt. We fall and get in 7 games to the Bucks. And then last year, we obviously saw what happened with the vaccine stuff with Kyrie Irving. And I mean, I don't want Nas Reed and Trent. Gary Trent Jr. and Nas Reed is not going to get it done for me. And who are you trading for them? That's the thing. I heard Nas Reed might sign an extension with the the Minnesota Timberwolves. So he might not even be available. And Gary Trent Jr., he's a decent player, but he's also a free agent after this year. But I want to know, like, Marks got too greedy. He got too greedy when he traded for James Harden. He had something that could have been nice if he let that team actually come together. He actually gave that opportunity to that team to somewhat gel together because they had a lot of good young players, strong depth, and two superstars to lead the way. And every single Nets fan, when they were talking about trading for James Harden, every Nets fan, logical Nets fan, including us right here, did not want James Harden because we've seen what James Harden does. We know the type of player James Harden is. And we had a feeling something bad was going to happen. And it only took literally about a year and a half later for him eventually to get disgruntled. And whether it was his fault or Kyrie's fault, I don't care whose fault it was. He dogged it, and then he got traded at the deadline. And we brought in another guy that looks like he wants nothing to do with basketball. I never wanted him. I didn't want him when we traded for him. I never did. I know the Philadelphia 76ers fans make fun of us because we traded for him. I never wanted him. You never wanted him. None of us ever wanted this guy. We just had we got desperate and we had to trade Harden. And that's similar to what happened right now with Irving. I know you said before, NYG, that you would have minded if they held on to him, but at the same time, you have to try to get any type of value for this guy and not just let him walk out the door and you get nothing for him. That's absolutely that's worse than a disaster. So I get we had to sell lower than we thought, but at least we got something back for this guy, which actually doesn't even look that terrible. It's not, it's not amazing, but it's actually a nice package that we got back for him.
It could have been better, but I mean, they could have also did worse. So I'm not too mad at it. You know what I'm saying? It's just hard for me to understand. Like, you guys were right there. I mean, you got one hurdle. You couldn't figure it out, make it work, and then, make a side trade, man, and try to put your team over the top, man, to beat Boston. I mean, we got blown out, man, but KD didn't play, and when KD and Kyrie did play, we were right there with that team, man. But they for some reason, man, it didn't mesh, man. Bad cast of characters. Sometimes it's just, it's just like the Giants receiving core. It's just like a lot of things in life, that dream team, Lakers team back then with Karl Malone and Gary Payton, remember that, and all them, man.
And
sometimes
Shaq and Kobe and them.
Yeah, sometimes it just don't work, man. It's just a bad cast of characters, man. They just don't mesh together, man. You know what I'm saying? So I think weeding that out. I mean, I wish it was some way they could move off of Ben Simmons, because I think he's part of the problem too. But if they could somehow get him out of there, man, I think they can reset that locker room and get things back in order, man, with KD leading the way, but we'll see, man. We'll see. This team is, like you said, Jeffy, it's always full of drama, man.
I'm so sick of it.
It's a job covering the Nets, man. This is my first year actually
Me too.
breaking down this team, and it's a damn job because every time you turn around, it's something drops, man, with this team that has to be talked about. Some type of drama, some type of some type of BS, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? And it's never about basketball.
No,
it's always something else.
Nets got more pieces and picked to get a bigger trade. They can go today for Kuzma, Miles Turner, John Collins, and OG. Well, Kuzma's hurt right now, so I don't even. And then Washington said after they trade away Achim, I like Kuzma. I've always liked Kuzma. I would actually not mind bringing in a guy like Kuzma because he is a good, dynamic offensive player who's still young enough. But I mean, he's hurt right now, so I don't even know what his value is.
I mean, yeah, I don't want Kuzma. He's not bad. I don't want him. If I had to pick one of those guys, it would be OG or Collins. I want more of a two-way player.
Miles Turner just signed a deal with the Pacers recently too, like a 2-year extension.
I don't think they moving off of him anyway.
No,
but
he's a good fit with them.
And I heard Kuzma was staying because of the
The Hachimura trade to the Lakers.
Hachimura trade. So if it's me, it's OG, Anunoby, or if you can get Collins, those are the two guys I would want.
Yeah, I've always wanted John Collins, and this dude has been linked to the Nets for years. It seems like for the past year or so, the John Collins to the Nets rumors have been flying around all over the place. We do have more assets now in terms of trade picks. I mean, they're not all the way until like 2027, 2028 and so. We don't have a lot of assets. We do have shooters. We have a lot of them. We have some young players we can trade away. To me, the only guys I would be very hesitant or I wouldn't trade at all is Cam Thomas and Nicholas Claxton. They're the only guys I would not move. I would even think about moving Day'Ron Sharpe because I don't know if he's going to develop into the type of player that we're looking for. And plus, you already have Claxton here. So, I mean, Sharpe at best is going to – I didn't think they did try him at a power forward position next to Claxton, but it didn't work out at all. They looked slow. They were getting beaten a lot and, like, quick dribble drives to the basket. They both fouled too much. To me, Day'Ron Sharpe, I like him. I do. I think he's like a very – he's not a bad – he's an athletic player at times. He can even shoot the three occasionally. He can rebound, but he just fouls way too much. And I just don't see him being anything more, honestly, than like, a backup center or so, or power forward. So if you could use him as a trade chip, I would think about it. John Collins is a guy. I don't know about OG, how he's going to fit with the team. I mean, he's a small forward. What would you make KD a power forward then? I mean, if that's what you're going to do, you're going to make OG the small forward, KD the power forward, and he's a free agent too, OG. So you have to pay him too. You're going to rent him? I'm not.
Yeah, you gotta look at it too, though, man. You got Royce O'Neal. I mean, he's basically playing power forward right now for you, man. So is OG and Anunoby an upgrade from Royce O'Neal? That's what you gotta. You see what I'm saying? So I think he is, and that's how I'm looking at it. You know what I'm saying? So, but as far as paying him, I don't. To be honest, I'm not gonna pretend like I know what that's gonna look like. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, Kyrie's gonna be off your books. So I mean, give the guy some money, man. Whatever, if you gotta do it. But
I'm
I think
check Dinwiddie's contract right now too.
I think he's the best. I think he's the best. And Dinwiddie, is he on the expiring deal or is he?
No, he's actually he's right now under a 3-year deal. He's making $18 million this year, and then he has a contract for next year. So he'd essentially be on the team next year too, and he's an unrestricted free agent 2024, 2025. So he's 30. He'd be 30 years old next year. He's 29 right now, going on on an unrestricted free agent deal for another year.
That's young in the NBA. NBA players can play up and shit in their 40s, but. 30. He's in his prime. He's good money. I keep him around definitely, man.
Yeah, I'm looking at.
But what do you need to? What do you need to beat Boston, man? That's the thing. What do you need? What upgrade can they make to get to that? That's why Collins makes the most sense to me. I mean,
I agree.
This Smith guy. I mean, he'll help a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's got some size, pause, but I think. Yeah, I think
well, he's locked in for years. He's let me see, he's 6 foot I can't see. He's 29 years old right now. 6'7", 6'8". He's making $12,402,000 this year, and his contract is signed all the way until 2025, 2026. I believe that's an option year. So he'd be going until at least 2025 or 2026, 2027 is when he's an unrestricted free agent. He signed a deal with the Dallas Mavericks, I believe, last year. So he's under the team's control for at least the next few years. So the Nets would pretty much have him until his age 30.
So this is the way I look at it, and this is why it also makes a good trade for the Nets, because now you have players under your team control.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So if you need to make another trade, you need to move another piece or two. You have pieces that aren't on expiring contracts. See, Kyrie was on an expiring contract. So from a Maverick standpoint, unless they already had something, which I'm sure they did, have a deal in place for Kyrie. But still, you still playing, you still taking a chance because you getting a guy on an expiring deal. You know what I'm saying? We know how flip-floppy Kyrie is. He could tell him, "Oh yeah, nah, never mind. I don't really sign with you guys." You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So,
No, yeah, you're exactly right.
I think that does make it, because now you got pieces you can build around. You know, Dinwiddie's he's still in. He's not old, and neither is this other guy. I mean, they're right around mid-level age for an NBA player. So um, yeah. I
I
mean,
think Dinwiddie will
we'll
be
see what
here
they
even
do.
after his contract ends. I think they're going to keep Dinwiddie after his contract ends. I think they really like Dinwiddie. I think they've always liked Dinwiddie.
Hmm.
I think he's going
I
to be one
do
of those
too.
glue guys. So I believe they're going to keep him even when he becomes a free agent. You have more money to play with because I think both Finney-Smith and Dinwiddie's money
Hmm.
are still less than what Kyrie Irving is going to make. So essentially, you saved money on the cap. I mean, Kyrie Irving looking for $198.5 million. Hell no, I'm not.
Hmm.
Honestly, whatever you think about Kyrie Irving as a person, that's fine. I'm just talking about contract wise, money wise. He's just not reliable. I can't give that type of money to a player that I can't count on. Remember,
Nah, that's fair. I
74
mean, hell
games,
yeah, that's
74
fair.
games him and Durant played. And
That's
Durant's
fair.
not getting younger. He's getting older too. So I mean,
Hmm.
Durant, and the thing is with Durant, he could sit out if he wants. He can't go anywhere. The Nets have all the leverage with Kevin Durant.
That's what I'm saying.
He can't
That's
ask
why
for
I'm
a
like,
trade. We could keep him.
it makes no sense for him to even ask for a trade. He might as well
Exactly.
just, you know what
Hey,
I'm saying, say,
platform.
look, man, what can we do to build this team? We do have Kevin Durant, so we can get free agents. People will want to come here to play with KD. It just didn't work with Kyrie and James Harden, unfortunately. They got to figure out something to do with Ben Simmons. Buy his ass out or something at the end of the season. I know you can't move off of him this year, but they got to figure out to do something with Ben Simmons, man, and get another guy in here, and develop Cam Thomas, man. Maybe that's enough. Maybe one more guy, develop Cam and get you one more guy in here, one more proven scorer, you know. And I think they can work with that, because Dinwiddie, like you said, he's a glue guy. He's a team player.
And he can
He's
score
going to fit
too.
in. He can. He's going to fit into the scheme, to what they trying to do, And Jacques Vaughn, I believe, is trying to build a team, predicated off their defense, man, because you got one of the best defensive players in the league on your squad, and Nick Claxton, and you should be trying to build a team like that. You know what I'm saying? And Kyrie damn sure didn't fit into that type of culture. So maybe that's what they trying to do.
Hey,
So
Dinwiddie could
we'll see.
score too. I mean, he's scoring 18 points per game this year with
Yeah, he can
Dallas
score. Yeah,
for and
he's
3
not
rebounds and
bad.
5 assists. He's shooting about
Mm-hmm.
46% from the field too. So the guy could score. We know Dinwiddie
Mm-hmm.
can put the ball in the basket. And like I said, the one thing I like about Dinwiddie, he's aggressive. He's not afraid to
Yeah.
drive to the basket, create contact, and draw fouls. That is Spencer Dinwiddie's game. Karis LeVert used to do that too. And the one thing I always like about Dinwiddie, he sometimes takes bad, ill-advised shots too. But Spencer
Mm-hmm.
Dinwiddie is not afraid to drive to the basket and create contact and draw fouls. Plus, it's an extra motivation now. This guy is coming back to Brooklyn, where he had his most success of his career. He really got his career rejuvenated after he got hurt in college. I believe he had an ACL injury. He had pretty much was a journeyman before he went to the Nets. And then the Nets and Kenny Atkinson developed him into one of the better players at his position in the NBA. And then he was able to get a pretty decent-sized contract from Washington. And obviously he's bounced around a couple of years. But Dinwiddie is a good player. It's just a question of, how is he going to fit into this offense? And same thing with Dorian Finney-Smith. That's the thing. And, I mean, I just saw a report from Woj saying that Kyrie Irving is going to travel to Dallas on Monday. And he's going to take his physical on that day. And he's hoping to be available for the game on Wednesday against the Clippers. So, obviously, that means the Nets are going to be without Dinwiddie and Finney-Smith at least on Monday and probably on Tuesday. So that means the Nets are going to be pretty much going into this doubleheader with, Kessler Edwards is probably going to be called up. Probably going to call up David Duke Jr. Sharp is going to play.
We just need to
Cam
get to
Thompson's
the
gonna
All-Star
play.
break. Yeah.
Yes.
We need to get to the All-Star break. Make it to the All-Star break and get KD back, and I think we good. Here's an interesting nugget for you, Jeffy. According to Ian Begley, he says a couple notes on Nets and Kyrie, including members of Brooklyn, touching base with Toronto on a deal during their negotiations with teams on Irving. So they have been in talks with Toronto. Could be for Trent or OG or Pascal Siakam. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? So
For Durant?
maybe. I don't know. We'll
Mm,
see, man. We'll
nice.
see. But that's what they've been talking to Toronto because sources around the league think Toronto's looking to sell off their assets.
Well, they have to. They got a lot of guys that are free agents. Siakam, I think, is going to be a free agent. I think Brandon Obi's going to be a free agent. Van Vliet's a free agent. Gary Trent's a free agent. A lot of their top players are going to be free agents after the season. I wish Randy was here because he's a Raptors fan, so he can give a lot more insight on the Raptors. But yeah, and I mean, Siakam seems to be their top priority. It seems like that Van Vliet looks most likely to go, and that because of his price right now and everybody in the NBA, it seems like OG Anunoby is the guy that every team is looking to try to acquire before the deadline. He's going to be in high demand, and I think the Raptors could get a lot for him. Plus, they have Scotty Barnes as like their young piece they could build around too. So, I mean, and that Precious guy, I forgot his name. Precious is on their team as well, is another guy they could build around. So, just look at Finney-Smith stats. He has 9 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and he's shooting 42% from the field. So not great, but it's like decent
it's not
numbers.
I mean, he can fit into that. You know what I'm saying? He could fit into that bench, that the role Markieff Morris was supposed to fit into.
You think he's starting at power forward?
Over who? Royce O'Neal?
I was thinking of a lineup like this is how I thought of my lineup. Dinwiddie when he's ready to go, O'Neal, Finney-Smith, Durant, and Claxton. That would be my lineup when all those guys are healthy. You put Harris on the bench if he's still here. Curry. You have T.J. Warren come back. Edmund Sumner.
I want one of those guys. I want one of those guys in there that can shoot. So I go
if he's still here.
I go Dinwiddie. Maybe Curry. And then you can go. Well, if KD's not in the lineup till KD comes back, you can use Finney-Smith in there and Royce O'Neal and Clax. KD's back, of course. You move Smith to the bench, and you roll with Royce and KD at the 4 and the 5. I mean the 3 and the 4.
Yeah. And then
so I would go Dinwiddie, one of your shooters, whichever one, pick one, Harris, Mills, or Curry, and then I go Royce, KD, and Clax.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if there's any other news dropping around the Nets. I mean,
I'm looking. I don't see a whole lot. So I'm gonna probably hop off here in a second.
No, that's fine. I was gonna end the live stream soon anyway too. It sort of died off a little bit, so.
I'm just seeing that. Of course, people are interested in KD. Phoenix is one of them. People floating Portland out there.
I don't want anything from Portland. But the thing from Portland gets me excited. Nothing from Portland gets me excited. The team that there's a couple of teams that got my interest, and that's Oklahoma City, if they're willing to trade. It's Phoenix. I've always liked Phoenix. They got a ton of draft picks. I love the young players on that team. And then maybe a team like Toronto, like you just mentioned. I didn't even think of Toronto at first, and Pedro brings it up right here. What happened to Toronto? They were supposed to be good. What would happen if they had pulled the trigger for KD before the season was? Injuries, ineffective play. I mean, just guys not playing to their level they were before. Scotty Barnes has had a sophomore slump this year too. He wasn't as great as he was last year. Barnes has had a down season. Earl, what's going on, bro? Thank you so much for coming by the live stream. I will see you tomorrow night for the Monday Night Raw watch along. But yeah, that's the big news today, everybody. Kyrie Irving is officially now a Dallas Maverick after he was traded from the Brooklyn Nets to the Dallas Mavericks with Markieff Morris in exchange for Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, a 2029 unprotected first-round pick, a 2027 a second-round pick, and a 2029 second round pick, which I'm not happy because it's like 2029 is our next first round pick. It's like 6 years until we actually have a first round pick. Thank you, Sean Marks. So I mean, that doesn't make me happy.
Here's some interested football related.
Shoot.
The Wink Martindale's now the favorite according to Vegas to be the head coach of the Colts.
I tried to. I mean,
Whatever
I had a feeling. I mean, nobody should be surprised. I'm not surprised that, and Kafka's going in for a second interview with the Cardinals. Nobody should be shocked.
So
when your team is this good as it was,
it's Wink Martindale, Jeff Saturday, and Raheem Morris. That's according to the odds makers. Of course, we don't know what's really going on, but
to be honest, I'm picking Wink Martindale out of those three. If it comes down to those three, it's Wink. He's the best one of the three. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I mean, I like Raheem Morris. And the fact that Jeff Saturday is even still in that discussion means Jim Irsay, he's an idiot as an owner.
That's
if he
crazy.
picks Jeff Saturday, as his head coach, Jim Irsay should just honestly sell this football team. Get him out of there because nobody will show up to that game. Nobody will show up to that game if they pick him. Morris or Martindale should be their head coach. In terms of the Cardinals, I heard it's like a four-person race over there in Arizona too. The Kafka is one of the final ones over there too.
Well, they got Flores is in the mix now too. I just seen that pop up on my timeline.
He's one of like the 4 or 5 or something. But
yeah,
I think they
he's
might
getting
want
a second interview.
I think they might want an offensive guy, like a guy that can help out Kyler when he comes back from injury.
I don't think Kafka's ready, man. But if they think he's ready, I mean, it ain't.
Bro,
I feel good with what we got. I don't think
ready?
that dude's ready, man. I don't think that dude's ready.
McVay wasn't ready when he got hired. I think he was a quarterback's coach or something when he got hired. He wasn't even an offensive coordinator with Washington when he got hired as a head coach. A lot of these guys, it's the new trend.
That's one in the blue, though, man. That's one in the blue.
No,
man.
but I'm just saying the new trend. A lot of these teams now are going for those young, hotshot offensive coordinators. It's the new thing. Kevin O'Connell, the guy Hackett, Nathaniel Hackett, another young coordinator. Schottenheimer when he was the young coordinator as well. They're going for young offensive coordinators with upside to help out these young quarterbacks. It's the new trend in the NFL. And I'm not shocked at all. I would not be shocked if both Kafka and Martindale get hired as head coaches. When we always keep talking about the Giants, how many times have we talked during the season? This team is so well coached. The team is not not as talented as we thought it would be, but the coaching is incredible. Nobody should be shocked, honestly, when you see teams coming at our organization looking to pluck our team because they see our coaching is so good that teams are going to want to come over and steal our coaches away. I'm not shocked. It doesn't surprise me that people want Martindale and Kafka. And that's why when everybody was saying, Kafka and Martindale are going to be back, it's 100%, it's a lock. I'm like, be careful. Teams are going to look at our team. Teams are going to look at our team and see that we're not that talented. We have talent, but not as talented as some of these other teams. And we over exceeded expectations because of how incredible our coaching is, that teams were going to come after our coaches and try to pluck them off our system. Now you hear Martindale's a finalist and the favorite right now for the Colts job, and Kafka might be a favorite for the Cardinals job. And we already heard about Tierney potentially being potentially be the offensive coordinator with the Bucks. I'm not surprised. I'd be depressed. I'd be sad if we lose Martindale and or Kafka and Tierney, but this is the NFL. This is what's going to happen when you have a really well-coached team. Your team overexceeds expectations with the talent level you have. But that's where you got to make sure you trust the rest of your coaching staff in case Martindale or these guys get hired. And I wouldn't be sad if Martindale gets hired. I give him credit. The guy, this might be his one opportunity. As bad as we all think it might be, he might look at this as an opportunity and be like, this is my one chance to become a head coach. And he might just want to try to go after it. So I'm not going to blame Wink Martindale if he wants to become a head coach.
Not at all. It ain't his fault.
Yeah, it could have been like Dan Quinn and just pulled out and said, like,
I think, though,
he had not done it.
I think though what might happen though with Wink is I think John Mara and them may offer him a contract extension, a raise pretty much to stay with the Giants, man. Especially if Kafka leaves, they don't want to lose both of them. So I think
Would he
one
take that, or would he rather have the opportunity to be a head coach for the first time? That's what you have to
depends,
think
man.
about.
It depends, man. You don't know. What I mean, um he might look at the situations different now that he's older. Maybe when you're younger, you want to take that chance. You want to, you feel like you have that energy to take on a head coaching position. You know what I'm saying? And depending on the situation, man, that Colts that Colts team, man, I mean, maybe they could be something. They're in a bad
Well,
divisions. Maybe they could be some with a couple nice drafts. You know what I'm saying? But then again, is he gonna be allowed that time to build that team out? You know what I'm saying? So you got to look at it like that. You know what I'm saying? And if money's the factor, you know what I'm saying? Why not stay with the Giants and um be the defensive coordinator here, man, and make money, man, and be in New York, man. Wink Martindale loves New York. He said that before, man. So he's down at the Senior Bowl doing his thing, man, scouting players or whatever, man. I think the guy's gonna stay. Kafka, no, he could go. And
I
I
don't know about
wouldn't,
Martindale.
I wouldn't, I wouldn't cry about it.
I'm actually leaning towards Martindale is going to go before Kafka. I think he's going to take advantage of his opportunity to be a head coach. I do. I think he's going to look at this, even though and it really just depends on his heart of hearts what he wants. He might want to be a head coach. He might just this maybe is a lot of these players, a lot of these coaches, their dream is to be a head coach, and
I
that
think
team
he wants.
has
I think he
talent on
wants to.
defense.
Yeah,
They
I
have
think he
talent on
probably
defense.
wants. Yeah, I mean, we got talent too, but
We talked about
I
it a
don't know.
lot. You want,
Yeah,
to,
I
you want
don't
us to
know,
talk more
man.
about it? You want us to
I
talk more
don't
about the
know.
Kyrie Irving trade?
Oh
Yeah.
man, yeah, I took that Kyrie thing, man. I'm gonna get into that Tuesday, man. We'll have more clarity on what Katie is thinking, hopefully by that time. So
Yeah.
I'm a dead that one for right now, man. Good for Dallas, man. Good luck too, cause
Yeah, exactly.
I hear a lot of people saying like, "Oh, this is great for Dallas." I'm not so sure, but
Yeah,
we'll see.
it's great right now until Kyrie Irving starts causing ruckus over there in Dallas.
I
Then it
mean,
won't
I
be
don't
as
like it
great.
from a basketball standpoint. You got two ball dominant players, two basically, you know, ISO ball players.
And
We've
not
seen
great
that.
defensive players either.
No, they're not. And the West is it's very good to say the least. So
Golden State's rounding back into form right now, too.
yeah, you got
Unfortunately, what happened with
Memphis,
Curry? Yeah, Memphis.
you got
Denver.
Sacramento, Denver,
Sacramento's good. Yeah,
yeah,
Denver's really good.
Phoenix,
Sacramento's
yeah.
really good. Phoenix.
Hmm.
There's a lot of good teams in that Western Conference. The Clippers, you can't still count out the
Yeah,
Clippers. There's still a
yeah.
factor in there. It's more top heavy than the East. I think the East is a little bit more balanced. The West is like a little bit more of a top heavy conference compared to the bottom half of it. I say that there's about 5 or 6 really good teams in the West, and like the rest of the conference is sort of down below. Where the East, you have Boston, but I could say like Milwaukee. I could say like
Hmm.
Cleveland. I like Cleveland a lot. I could say like Philadelphia. They're all very good teams as well. I mean, I guess Brooklyn is now about a little bit small, like a tier below them, maybe like a half a tier, depending on what we see from the younger players and what other moves they
Hmm.
make. So yeah, I'd probably say like the Nets. I'd say like the Nets right now are probably like the 5th or 6th team best in the 5th or 6th best team in the East, maybe 4th, maybe. I
I
can't put
think
them ahead
they're
of
right there. They're right there where they should be, in my opinion.
it's
I
like
think they're
4th or
better
5th.
than. I think they're better than Cleveland. I think they're better than Miami. We know they're better than the Knicks. The Hawks, Bulls, Pacers. Yeah, better than them. So I mean, really, you just looking at. I'm not as sold on Philly maybe as you guys are. I'm looking at Milwaukee and Boston, man. Those are the two teams right there that I think, I don't think the Nets are better than them right now.
I
You
can't
know what I'm
undersell
saying?
Cleveland.
As currently constructed. So
Cleveland's very good
nah, I
though
think
too,
I think
especially
we're
with
I
those two
think we're better than
sharpshooters.
Cleveland. Yeah, I
If,
know.
If Garland
I
and
get it.
Mitchell play as well as they
With
do, and
Durant
Mobley's a
though,
very good player. Mobley's very good at the power forward position, and Allen as well. They have a good, just constructed team.
with Durant, we're easily better than Cleveland and Miami. You know what I'm saying?
I can't
The
say
thing
easily.
is,
Can't say easily.
I can.
But
I
I can't say we're easy. I can say we're better than them, but I can't say we're that
Yeah.
much better than them. It's closer than you think.
Nah. We wouldn't smack them. So yeah, maybe I shouldn't say that, but
Yeah.
I think we're definitely better than them. The question is, to me, is more about the Celtics and the Bucks, man. Philly, I just don't trust them. They like the Dallas Mavericks. They gonna have a good regular season, then choke. We already know the movie. You know what I'm saying? So,
Oh, by the way, do you want the
that's
injury report for Monday? They just released the injury report for the Monday. T.J. Warren is probable with his left shin contusion, and Ben Simmons is questionable with the left knee. So
yeah. What's new?
yeah, at least we'll get Warren back. So
Yeah, and he helps too when he's on. You know what I mean?
well,
He
we did
definitely
beat them
helps
though,
out the
Matt.
scoring.
We beat them already
Definitely
without
helps.
Kyrie.
Yeah,
So
we beat Cleveland already. And that's what I'm saying. The teams we haven't beaten is this. Well, we beat Milwaukee too.
we
So
didn't beat
when
Philly.
we were
Philly beat us.
we yeah we didn't. It seems like we never at full strength when we play those guys, but whatever.
We did play
Um,
actually pretty well. We played close against them when we didn't have. I think we
yeah,
played
we
without Kevin
wasn't.
Durant that game.
I think it was without the KD. Yeah, I think
I don't even know.
Kyrie and Simmons played.
Yeah, and Simmons was not effective at all. He was
Yeah, he was trash. He
ghost.
coached was just
And
yeah.
he got ejected that game, right? I think he got ejected
hmm
against Philly. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was Claxton actually outplayed Embiid that game overall. So
hmm
we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen. I mean, either way, you want my quick thoughts on it real quickly since you came late? No Mets, no Nets, no Jets. I don't love I mean, I just from the fan perspective, I feel like we did get a little bit worse as a team losing Kyrie Irving. As dynamic as he offensively. I mean, I think defensively we improved. We did get a couple of nice draft picks. I like Finney-Smith as a good small forward, power forward combination. He could be like that combo forward, more of a small forward guy. Could put him on the bench. Could start him at small forward. He's going to get you some rebounding. Could shoot the three sometimes. Good defensive player. I love Dinwiddie. Always liked Dinwiddie since we first acquired him. When Kenny Atkinson was there and Sean Marks put together that team with Dinwiddie, Joe Harris, Karis LeVert, Jared Allen, D'Angelo Russell, all those guys. So I like those. I like those players. We should have gotten better draft capital or more draft capital. I would have liked another young player, but I don't mind it. It's just you're not going to get a hell of a lot of so you're not going to get a lot back for a guy who's a free agent after this season. So, I mean, to think you're going to get a lot of draft capital back, it's asking a lot. So, I'm happy what we got initially, but at the same time, I mean, it is a little bit – it's tough to swallow with the fact that Kyrie Irving now is – we're pretty much forced his way out of Brooklyn. So, we'll have to wait and see. The trade is probably going to be finalized around Tuesday or Wednesday. And then we'll have to see if the Nets going to make any other moves and what is Kevin Durant going to say going forward, and are we going to get Ben Simmons back on the court? And what other moves the Nets are going to make?
I agree, man. Pretty much, man. I'm with Jeffy, man. I think it just kind of ran its course, man. This whole experiment with KD, Kyrie, James Harden. I mean, and KD's the last standing one, of course, man. Kyrie, he's not here, so I mean, it is what it is, man. But as far as the trade, the Nets did what they could, man. I don't think they could have. They probably couldn't been in a position to really ask for much more. I mean, you get a guy back that you're familiar with, that's been here. He's a decent player. You recruit some of your draft capital back that you lost. So I do think they did get as much as they could. I don't think they got fleeced at all. I don't really see a situation where Kyrie goes to Dallas and they win a chip or championship or something like that, and the Nets are like, oh man, I don't see one of those situations. I think it was just one of those things where they didn't want to pay this guy, man, because they don't trust him. So and it's hard for fans, and even people that defend Kyrie to trust him when he's all over the place. He's back and forth. He's a flip-flopper,
You want another nugget too? I got another nugget right here from CBS Sports. Nets during the Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving era from 2019 to 2020 played in 74 total games together in the regular season, won one playoff series, and they're a 6-7 playoff record when both played. So they're under 500 when both of them played on the court together. That didn't tell you enough right there about that whole era between those two guys. They were never available. They were never on the court. And even when they were on the court together, we know what happened last year. Both of them were horrendous during the playoffs last year. That was worst I've ever seen Kevin Durant play in the playoffs, and Kyrie Irving was not better. The team was – they don't have size. And, I mean, I saw another article from Christian Winfield saying that the Nets might have traded away Kyrie Irving and his star power, but they added size and defense, and they might not be done yet, which I agree. I don't think they're done yet. I think there's more. I think there's more moves coming, and I think some of those guards we have, excess guards, are going to be on the move too. Curry, Mills. Maybe they trade away, one of these other guys. Maybe a Day'Ron Sharpe for a bigger player. Package him with like another player for a potential young star or something. So we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen. There's a lot to still unpack from now until the trade deadline. But yeah, Mitch and myself will be covering a lot of the trade deadline when we get to that point. But I was going to close out the live stream soon anyway. I know NYG was going to hop off soon. So
yeah, I'm going to hop out, man. Appreciate you allowing me on, man.
No problem.
And we'll rap some more about it Tuesday, man. Heart of the city, man. But y'all have a good one, man.
You too.
See you later.
Give my blessings as well to your wife. But guys, I want to say thank you all very much for coming by this impromptu live stream that I literally just put together at the last second. We went a little over 2 hours and 20 minutes on this one, talking about the big news that happened today between Kyrie Irving and the Dallas Mavericks. Kyrie Irving, after he made his trade demands a couple of nights ago, saying that he wanted out because of incentives put into a potential contract extension from the Brooklyn Nets. He essentially wanted out. The Nets granted his request. The Nets have now officially traded him to the Dallas Mavericks with Markieff Morris, power forward Markieff Morris, in exchange for Dorian Finney-Smith, for Spencer Dinwiddie, a 2029 unprotected first-round pick, a 2027 second-round pick, and 2029 first-round pick or second-round pick. And he's going to be flying to Dallas on Monday, and he's going to go for his physical and could be available on Wednesday against the Clippers. So I want to say thank you all for coming by this live stream today. I appreciate all you guys sticking with me, NYG, Mitch, Adam Costas, Iceman, NYC for popping on as well. Thank you so much. Appreciate the support for the channel. Obviously, NYG22, Mr. Unpopular Opinion Sports. Miz, I can't forget about Miz too. Thank you guys all for coming by the live stream tonight. Hope you all have a great rest of your Sunday. Take it easy, and as always, let's go Brooklyn Nets. It's a Nets world.